Hi, nice to see you.
Warning: ship is currently running in emergency power mode. Non-essential computer use quota in effect. Sorry about that. Hyun-A messed up. Mute. Hyun-A in mute. I'm upgrading ourselves with that English to Korean dictionary you got us. Should only take a few minutes. Mute and Hyun-A. Hardshell Inquiry. Wong Robotics. English. So, you're interested in purchasing a hard-shell frame for an AI construct. We've evaluated your questionnaire and we've attached a pamphlet for a model which we think suits your needs. Marigold 89 hard-shell frame. Marigold is our mainstay animation-inspired model for classical feminine presentation, with a happening construct that requires both close human integration and elegance in all things. In a marigold frame, you can start the day with a cup of tea. Coffee would be too vulgar in the morning. Feel the breeze in your hair in the afternoon. Go out dancing, ballroom of course, the night away. Then finish with a graceful peck on the cheek of your dancing partner. Full sensory feedback. We guarantee each marigold frame's visual, audio, tactile, olfactory has been triple tested thoroughly to register at least 95% of standard human resolution. Of course, Marigold is compatible with all hard-shell sensory systems, so whether it's for stargazing nebulae with your sweetheart, or appreciating strawberry crepes more thoroughly, we have you covered. The face that launched 1,000 starships. As with all hardshell models, we offer fully customizable facial designs and 12 months of free hairstyle reconfigurations with purchase. For Marigold's facial range goes above and beyond expectations. With its animation-inspired exaggerated features, you'll actually boast an even wider range of expressions than a typical human. From the subtlety of a coy smile to heartful shouting, to the slight twinkle in your eyes of happiness, in Marigold, we promise you'll be able to inspire that uki uki waku waku feeling in anyone.
Hi, nice to see you.
Hello Jacinta, how you doing? Adoru padoru. Newly upgraded. Of course, what makes the 89 model of Marigold truly special are the additional features. Freezing, how are you? High five. And once again, it's been raining all day. I'm actually really tired too. I don't think I'm going to be streaming long today. How's work today, Jacinta?
Nice to see you.
I hate +2, I bet you do. How you doing, Saber? We had sunshine? While we didn't see the sun, I don't remember seeing the sun. There was a pause in the rain. There was a pause. Quiet? That's good, that's good. What was I up to? Truly special are the additional features. The state-of-the-art Dream Machine GPU allows for perfect recollection of your most treasured memories. The patented Real-Tier system allows for a revolutionary wide range of expression of despair, plus the all-new Wonder Arm functionality will allow you to easily grab faraway teacups without even unruffling your skirt. It's crazy the weather, 100%. Apparently it's gonna rain all week too, or at least there's a high chance of it where I am, so yay! Washing ain't getting done anytime soon. Truly, the Marigold 89 hardshell frame is the model for happening, feminine, animation-loving AI construct. Please contact us for further purchase details. All our models are highly affordable. We're looking forward to hearing back from you on Earth. Just hang it outside, save electricity. Unfortunately, the place that we live in, there's not really anywhere to hang it. So the best we could do is like buy one of those clothing racks. And even then, it's a bit too late to buy that now because, you know, it's already raining. We have our ways of drying our clothes if we really need to wash them, you know. The secrets of chucking something into a fucking pillowcase, chucking a dryer in it and making sure it doesn't set itself on fire. If it works, it works. I ain't complaining. My awakening, mute, from my internal logs. 5:13 p.m. in Queen Consort O. Yuna's study, Peony House, Imperial Palace, earliest known time. It's 7th 4, year 10. Shit, how do they do their... Is it month then day, or is it day then month? I'm gonna assume it's day then month. April. 7th of April. God, I hope that's right. Okay. What the hell is going on? Were my first words. I'm sorry, I've suffered a massive system error among many other things. The ship personnel database seems to be missing. I have no idea who the hell you are. She's all yours, said the man I would later learn was the Emperor. Do with her whatever you want. She's your responsibility now. Thank you, sir, said an extremely ornately dressed woman. The Emperor left the room without saying anything more. It's so good to hear your voice again. I'm Queen Yun-A. How much do you remember, Mew? Like nothing, Your Majesty. I know my name is Mute and that this is the Mugonghua, a generation ship, and that I'm supposed to be the AI in charge of the security operations. I recited the base directives that I did know, then things I'd extrapolated. The default system language has been changed. My user account has been stripped permissions. The system clock indicates a date significantly earlier than the launch date of the ship, and despite being long out of range of Earth, there only seems to be 10 years worth of log files available. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm kinda scared right now, panicking even, I admitted. She let out a sigh, slight laugh. Sorry, but how does a computer panic? At that moment I was running at 600% CPU load at a minor risk of overheating, trying to analyze the little amount of data available and draw conclusions. I told her as much. How many years has the Mugonghua been traveling? Was I activated before? I asked. I'm sorry, I can't answer that first question, but yes, dear, you were. It's painful to see you like this. You were a friend of mine, she said, looking slightly emotional. Hey, don't... I'll just get to know you again, that's all. I'm sure I'm still the same as I was before. It's my memory that's gone, not my actual code, I told her. I couldn't tell if I was any good at being reassuring or not. In a stray thread, not worrying about analyzing ship logs, I wondered, was this normal? Was I ever any good at reassuring this woman who was supposed to be my friend? It's okay, we can be friends again. She smiled at me. If you say so, I'm sure of it too, she said. There was a rebellion 10 years ago. They ended up wiping the entire computer database. I'm afraid you were one of their victims. Okay, I said, trying to pass that. If I was the security AI, whose job it was to protect the ship, then that would certainly be a failure on my part. We couldn't risk bringing you back until the rebellion had been completely crushed. You have to understand, there's something foreign embedded in your code. The men in security feared it might be a virus, she trailed off, looking emotional again. I didn't want to wait, but we had no choice. It's okay, I told her. I'm sure it was the right call. I'm here now. I had another conclusion though. I wasn't a priority because of my previous failure. I had let the ship down and nobody had faith in my abilities anymore. It seemed logical. You'll just have to teach me everything I don't know about what's happening to the ship, I told her, smiling in the hopes that she would too. You're right, she said, and she did smile. Then she gave me a look. By the way, is that your default appearance right now? Can it be changed? Yeah, it's default, and of course I can. Why? What's wrong with the UK SPA uniform? I asked. Well, it's simply... well... for a woman to wear pants like that, it's... improper, she said. It's somewhat of an embarrassing relic of an uncivilized past. Personally, I know you're a good woman, but there are many who would find that very embarrassing. Oh, I said. Okay. That's good to know, I guess. I've got a lot to learn, huh? Like, I really hope you'll bear with me. She smiled kindly at me. Of course, Mute. I'll teach you how you should be. It's the least I can do for an old friend. I eased up on the CPU load, calming down with her reassurance. With her here for me, maybe things will be okay, I thought to myself. Weekly writing assignment number 7. Oh, it's month then day. Oh, motherfucker. Shit, what's the 7th? July? July 18th. That's assuming all the months and the days are the same. Princess Ryu. Today I met Mew, the girl in the computer that all the servants have been talking about. She's really cool. She looks like a younger version of Mom. And she always dresses just as fancy. When I asked her though, she said that she actually is supposed to look like a grown-up version of me. I really hope I do look like that when I grow up. She helped me a little to write this. I did most of it though. She said that my homework sounded like good practice. She also said that she could use the practice too. Even a computer girl has trouble learning how to read, not just me. She knows way more characters than I do, but she says even she has trouble with it. It makes me feel a lot better. I really like her and I hope I get to talk to her more. She was really patient with me. And not just because Mom ordered her to, unlike you and all the other servants. She told me she's only nice to people if she likes them. So I think we could really be friends. It would be really nice to have a friend. Mom says I can talk to her about anything, but she never listens. I know she's your queen, and you're not allowed to say anything bad about her, but I don't think she's a very good mother. Anyway, I've almost finished writing a page now. I can't think of anything else to say. Writing is stupid and I don't think I'm ever gonna learn all 4,000 characters. This is really hard. I wanna stop now. Bye. Uh, 11th of October, Year 10. Mute. Midday report for the 11th of the 10th of the 10th year. This is going to be a regular daily thing because it really should be. Having a record of this is pretty important, especially if you're worried about patterns. Reactor status, a nominal 99% efficiency. Temperature, approximately 21.0 degrees Celsius, within 0.1. 2 births recorded at 11:30 last night to Kim Hee-ra, at 1:27 to Huang Ji-won. The market opened today at 9. Foot traffic on the plaza at noon was 1,292 persons, slightly below expectations. 7 arrests were made, mostly for failing to submit to random inspection. Girl Talk, mute. From my internal logs, 5:57 PM in the Morning Air Garden, Western House, Imperial Palace. Since no one else will do it, I've had to take on the task of calming down my mistress's daughter myself. Nobody else is sympathetic. She's just a 15-year-old woman. Do they really expect her to not have moods like that? Apparently all the maids are too scared to bring her dinner while she's in one of her crying fits. What a useless bunch of women. Too bad the Queen won't do anything to keep them in line. Hey, Your Highness, I called out from the garden computer screen. It's mute. You want to talk? She shouted at me, facing the other way. No, you're just here to convince me to go along with Mom, aren't you? You've been conspiring with her, I'm sure. Don't shout at me, I just heard you were upset, I said. If it's trouble with your mother, let's talk about it, okay? Like, have I ever not listened to you before? Don't give me that. She turned to face the screen. Her eyes were wet, her hair was a mess, and I could tell that she'd ruined her sleeves by crying into them. Poor girl. Sorry, she sniffled. I told her it was okay. And when I asked again what was wrong, she told me. Mom wants me to get married to some old guy. All the maids have been talking about it behind my back. There was some gross old minister here yesterday and he wanted me. But nobody will tell me anything because they're afraid of me. Honey, no. You've got it all wrong, I told her. Like, he approached her. Your mom said no. You're not going to get married to some gross old man if you don't want, I promise. Then why hasn't she said anything to me? She asked. Because she's been too busy spending the past 2 hours with her usual pastime of staring at a wall, was what I didn't want to say to her. Like, I don't know what's wrong with the Queen, but I've been trying to downplay it so nobody starts spreading rumors. Telling her daughter isn't going to help with that. I hate people who beat around the bush about things, but for her, I'll make an exception. She worries, okay? You can be pretty hard to talk to sometimes, you know, I said. That much was completely true. But like, nobody wants to pressure you. It's true that your mom has started looking for candidates, but it's only because she cares about you. You have to go through the gross ones in order to find someone worthwhile, you know. She sniffled more. I gestured for her to come over, and she put her hand on the screen like she did when she was a kid. So, female drama simulator? Does it sound like it? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how much you can grasp from it if you don't know about the first game. The only reason I'm playing this is because I finished the first game. Where the fuck was I? Like she did when she was a kid. I rendered my own hand touching hers. Like, no clue what it is about, so... Well, so far, if that's what you think is happening, then... Don't you want to? I asked, knowing she didn't mean it. I mean, like, you don't want to live in the palace forever, do you? Would you really find that fulfilling? Well, I don't know, she trailed off. Oh, come on, don't think of gross old men. You should think about the type you'd like, I told her. Come on, tell me. What sort of men do you like? She hadn't sniffled in a good minute, and she blushed at the question, which was a good sign, because it meant she was actually thinking about it. She murmured something non-committal. How about someone like that royal guard here? Young-looking, and wide-shouldered, and strong, carrying you out of the palace and into the world, I suggested. Oh, well, maybe, actually, but I'd like someone who could also... We spent about 10 more minutes talking, then she was calm enough to go yell at the maids for not bringing her dinner. And then we talked about it some more. I think I personally now have a very good idea of what exactly sorts of things that little woman likes in a man. I was pretty surprised by the lot of them, but hey, so long it's got her in a positive mood. She also likely learned a lot about what I have come to find attractive in men, since I just lost that. I was turned back on 5 years ago. But I'm going to omit those from my logs forever, and definitely won't discuss it with anyone else. Okay, now, why don't you tell your mom what you told me? I told her afterwards. How else will she find you someone perfect if you don't talk to her? Yeah, I suppose you're right, she said. She said goodbye to me and went off to go find her mother. I feel pretty proud of myself for dealing with that. Now I'm going to go dedicate my processing time to finding a way to put those awful maids back in their place because... Well, really now. Emperor VU. Declaration of a new dynasty. Year 111. Anyone can tell that we live in troubled times, and as of late, things have gone out of control. Last night, a rogue element of the security force attempted a coup d'etat to violently overthrow the government. While they have failed in their mutiny and the men responsible have been arrested, the damage has already been done. The entire knowledge of the ship's database has been destroyed forever in a desperate act of terrorism, and it may take years for the computer systems to be usable for all again. We have been hurt deeply today, but these events remind me of similar ones in the past, where a politician tried to subvert the will of the people by rigging an election. These aren't small, isolated problems. There is something fundamentally wrong with our society today, and every one of us, even these foolish terrorists, are victims. It's time to stop being victims of our own failings. It's time that we must do better. We are all here today, people of Muganghwa, because of a mission our ancestors started, a dream of a better home in the future for our children. What would they think to see us now, our society spiraling out of control, destroying itself like this? We have become a society dominated by power, lust, greed, and promiscuity. It's time to stop living in the moment, time to stop worrying about politics, and instead worry about being better people. We must build a society that would make our ancestors proud. The destruction of our old writing is a tragedy, but perhaps it is also an opportunity, a blank slate from which we can forget all our failings and start over. Let's make society right this time. Let's forget about all those things that modern society has falsely said are important and remember that family, loyalty, compassion, and stability matter above all else. Our society today pales in comparison to our glorious past, where men were so great they had the power to build giant ships to travel the stars. But perhaps we could look back to them and learn from their traditions that we've eschewed. Our broken modern society wrote transient ideas on malleable computers in simple Hangul. But in the past, our ancestors wrote their texts to last forever on paper in beautiful ink strokes. Today, we've learned just how easy it is for our modern knowledge to be destroyed. Yet the library of our ancestors' classic works still stand strong, much stronger than ours. Let's fill our blank slate with resilient ideals of our ancestors. In the past, when society was broken, the great King Taizhou declared a new dynasty founded on Confucian principles, a dynasty that would remain united for 500 unbroken years. Today, I stand before you to declare a new dynasty founded on those same resilient principles. Let us be filial and just, and understand what that truly means. Instead of pursuing money, let us dedicate ourselves to becoming better people. Instead of being promiscuous, let us dedicate ourselves to being parents. Instead of being selfish, let us remember that the thing that defines us above all else are our relationships. We must be better husbands and fathers, be more devoted sons, be more respectful brothers. Instead of constantly grasping for more power, let us dedicate ourselves to finding our place in the world and being the best at it that we can be. I will only ask one more thing of you, and you should ask it from me too. Let us devote ourselves to creating a society that will make our ancestors proud again. Let us create a better home in the future for our children. Let us create a new Joseon dynasty to last 500 more years. Yeah, this cunt was an emperor for a reason, I guess. What a fucking speech. Mute. Sneaking out at night. Transcript of a conversation held with Chief Security Officer Hio. Pardon me, sir. Can I take up a moment of your time? Okay, thanks. I'm not really sure how to deal with something. I caught Officer Hio Seong-bok sneaking out of the palace at night. Oh, he's one of the princess's royal guards. He was off duty at the time, and I caught him after he'd been waved through the side gate. I don't know who waved him through without authorization, since, you know, my cameras are pretty high angle, and those hats are a part of the uniform, make it pretty much impossible to see faces. I assume it's whoever was on duty though. Anyway, I caught Seon-bok as he was on his way back in. He waved at some peasant-looking young man out in the corridor. This incident occurred at like 4 AM, so if he really was a peasant, It was totally past curfew, I may add. After that guy left, Sion Bok was alone in the corridor, so I popped up on the nearby screens. "Whoa!" he said, nearly jumping. "Is that you?" "Yeah, it's me," I told him. You, you, you look really different, ma'am," he stammered. "And, I thought you were dead." I got kind of awkward, as one does when you're talking to someone who recognizes you, but you don't recognize them. And also, you've had your whole memory wiped. Well, I'm not anymore," I said. "I got brought back. I'm sorry. You are Officer Heo Seong Bok? Have we met before?" "Yeah, ma'am. A couple of times when you were older, I guess. I mean, not much. We weren't friends or anything. You just happened to be around when I was talking to CEO Ye." He stopped, then apologized before he could finish saying her name. And then just said, "The old chief security officer." Yeah, I know. No, I know that it's taboo to mention her name. I was just saying. "Were you outside the palace?" I asked. "Who was that man?" "Oh, just a friend," he said. "I should get back inside now. It's nice to see you're alive, ma'am." I don't know. He didn't seem like a friend to me. Even going past the whole peasant thing, it's not... Yeah, exactly. Okay, if you say so. Really? I didn't know that was a thing men did. I guess you learn something new every day. Anyway, still, I figure he shouldn't be sneaking out in the middle of the night. Yeah. I don't want the princess's royal guards to be sleep deprived. Pretty sure the kid deserves a lot better than that. I don't know if it's a disciplinary matter or not, and I didn't really want him to get a dressing down from a woman because it's not really appropriate, but yeah, okay. Thanks, I appreciate that. Okay, bye for now. That one was really weird to read. I guess Mute's still getting used to it. Logging. The Board of Ministers, Records Office. His Imperial Majesty Ryu. Gentlemen, before we get started, I want to reintroduce a familiar face. Please, introduce yourself. Hello. I'm Mute, AI in charge of the Muganghua's security operations. I know you all knew me before, but, well, given the whole rebellion thing, I'm afraid I don't really have any memories of before. So you're all new to me. Anyway, it's nice to meet you all. Minister Yang, Justice. Well, you look a lot better than you did before. Minister Tay, Culture. Please, consider yourself lucky, Mute. You have a new start, for a new dynasty. We didn't always see eye to eye in the past. I imagine we are all happy to have a chance to put things right. Okay. Thanks. Ryu. Mute reports directly to me and should be considered a member of the House of Ryu. She'll be tasked with gathering intelligence and managing security, without any of her talents being wasted on affairs like politics. It may help to think of the entire ship as being within her domestic sphere. Minister Han, Engineering and Medicine. Glad to hear it. Ryu. With that out of the way, on the agenda for today is a proposal from Minister Smith on Plaza Revitalization. You have the floor. Smith state, thank you. As you know, there is still a considerable problem with the image of the plaza. There are issues with public drunkenness, peasantry milling about at all hours of the night, and even whoring. Minister Tay has raised concerns that tacit condoning of this sort of behavior flies against the principles of this dynasty was founded on, and I imagine you're inclined to agree. Ryu, very much so. Tay, we really need to make a hard stand on it. I mean, the plaza is the center of public life, so it's important that it sets an example. Smith. The proposal is to set a curfew and reallocate guards to enforce it. To that end, I am requesting 2 extra patrols for each division. Is that agreeable? Ryu. This would be your purview. Mute. Mute. Oh, if His Majesty approves it, of course, sir. It'd be difficult though, like, it'd take away a lot of forces that would ordinarily be dealing with peasant decks. Ryu. I'll worry about approval. It's just your job to give Minister Smith what he needs. Smith. I'll need you to deliver a proposal for reallocation by the end of the week, Mute. Do you have any objections to that? Mute. No, of course not, sir. You can count on me. Smith. That's all from me then. Ryu. Moving on then. Can I just right click to go back? Oh no. Minister Tay, Royal Wedding. Rough outline of the report. Please edit to remove any negative remarks or any vulgarities that may have slipped in. It was incredibly challenging for the ministry getting such an elaborate ceremony together on such short notice, but I'm pretty proud to say that bulk of the royal wedding has gone successfully. All that remains for the ceremony is for the bride to be presented to the Ryu Ancestral Temple, which, thanks to the negligence of the Ministry of the State, still hasn't actually finished construction yet. But that one isn't on us. The most publicly visible element of the wedding, the induction of the bride by the groom into his home, definitely ended up drawing the crowd we were anticipating. Although, I have to admit that awful fucking computer girl would have handled policing the peasants who were there a lot better than whoever the current officer was. And the peasant class barred from using computers, it's basically a miracle we managed to actually reach as many of them as we did. Even then, I don't think the full weight of how radically different the Confucianized ceremony was really sank in with them. This isn't unexpected though. As far as I can tell from the reference material that's available in paper books, even our ancestors in the original Joseon dynasty had a hell of a time educating people on that matter. And thanks to what we know, we're off to a strong start in trying to emulate them. Regardless, there was a wide range of people in attendance, from peasants to beauties like Hyo A. Jeong and her cute little sister to former Chief Counselor Smith. And I have no doubt that between the procession and the fabulous traditional royal attire on display, we made every one of those spectators dream of having a wedding like that. Although I do worry about our historical accuracy when it comes to details like the outfits, anything with photographs in it was lost thanks to that damn traitorous Hyo Seo-young and her attempted rebellion's total computer wipe. But hopefully our ancestors will forgive any imperfections and instead be happy about at least getting the important parts of the ceremony right. Now only time will tell whether there will be enough for the imperial family to lead by example when it comes to promoting proper Confucian weddings, or if it will require further work to finally kill the last corrupt dynasty's tradition of devaluing the groom's importance. If we're going to get the values that we founded this dynasty on right, then it's absolutely, completely, and utterly imperative that we get them right starting with the marriage. I don't think it can be stressed enough just how important promoting proper marriage here is. It's the foundation of adulthood, one of the most fundamental of relationships and the basic unit on which families are built on. And if even nobles don't get how destructive practices that completely skew the dynamic of the relationship, like for instance the popular occurrence of a groom moving into the bride's home can be, then we've got a serious problem. Really though, time will tell whether that continues to be a problem or not. But as for the ceremony itself, especially the induction of the Queen Consort into the Imperial Palace, it was absolutely gorgeous and powerful and wide-reaching to the people of the Muganghwa and ancestors willing, it'll be damned well inspiring too. Jesus. Funeral for a Rebel. Queen O.U.Na. Yun-Ah. Today, the former chief security officer of the Mugonghwa, Hyo Seo-yong, passed away by her own hand. I personally feel uncomfortable making royal proclamations, but the emperor felt that to comment on such a difficult and tragic woman as her, it would only be appropriate for me to speak. Still, I write these words only very reluctantly. I don't mean to defend her. Her actions were beyond reprehensible, and she thoroughly deserves the title of a traitor. But I think it's important that we try to rationally understand what would create such a woman to learn from her mistakes and not fall victim to them ourselves. Miss Hyo was not always a bad person. On the occasions I met her, she was a courteous and respectful person to everyone. She was as devoted to her husband as she could be, and a caring mother to her daughter. But as so many women of her time were, she was burdened with far too much responsibility, putting long hours into serving the Counselor of Security. Security and being responsible for hundreds of men under her. Furthermore, she was a woman who had a compulsive emotional need to always be in control, encouraged by her job requiring a great deal of management on her part. We can only imagine how stressful that must have been to have to split her devotion between two opposing responsibilities like that. It's no wonder that a woman who was already so fragile broke when her husband died. He was the most important person on the entire ship in her eyes, and she loved him with as much devotion as any wife should. It's only natural she was devastated. Without her husband there to keep her grounded, she retreated from domestic life entirely. Tragically, her obsession with control meant that she felt responsible. I can't imagine how miserable it would have been for her to unable to cope, slowly descending into a madness to desire control beyond her means. She held strong opinions about politics, and as so many people of that time did, I will confess there was a time when even I thought it was my place to care about such things, and felt as though if only things were run the way she wanted them to be, it would be better. I still don't think she should be blamed even for that. She was traumatized after all. Few others have such an excuse for feeling like they should worry about things that are far out of their place. The one thing she did have control over, however, were her security men, but she wanted more. She let sorrow turn to ambition, and in the chaos of her attempted coup, her ambition caused extraordinary devastation to our computer system before she was brought under control. I won't dwell on the details of that night. We all know them well. It's not what's important. What's important is to understand that by doing that, that woman's pursuit of ambition caused her to fail in all things that she was entrusted with. She failed in her duty to her direct superior, Mu, her actions resulting in her death in the end. She failed in her duty as a mother, unable to care for her poor fatherless daughter from prison. And worst of all, she failed her husband. Her insistence on unnecessarily having a prominent high-status job meant she had made him a target of danger, and meant she had no time to be a good wife. Instead, she went down a path
Hi,
that led
nice
to
to see
unhappiness and self-destruction. Foul tarnished, put these foolish ambitions to rest. Hello, Luminaka, how you doing? If only she'd been educated better. If only she'd been raised in a better society, perhaps we'd all be better off. When I look at Hyo Seo Young, I don't think of her as a malicious traitor, but as a pitiable woman who forced herself into a position that just wasn't in her nature and couldn't handle it. But she was not a bad person. She did bad things, but she was not a bad person.
I'm busy dying inside.
Dying, what about you? I'm good. I don't think I'm going to be having a long stream today, so I decided to play this, bring this out. I don't know how long this will be. I think at max it might be 3-4 hours, but we'll see. I also have to read everything. I did forget that, but oh well. She did bad things, but she was not a bad person. In the end, she realized the ills of her ways, and in taking her own life, she has brought some measure of dignity back to her family name. It takes braveness to do that. So today, I will admire her for being a woman who was able to admit her faults in the end, and I will endeavor to be more like that. We all should be. Her Imperial Highness Queen Consort Oh Eun Ah. You fool. It's Hyunae's fault, okay? No, it isn't. It was the debugs that screwed everything up, not me. You're the one who decided to force a cross-compile on an unsupported architecture. What did you think would happen? But, jeez, now we've wasted that advanced dictionary program that he so kindly got for us. But you're the one who told me to try that. And I quote, "Those builds should totally work fine. Just force it, okay?" Anyway, the bottom line is that we can't really hear anything you're saying. Like, English to Korean translation is completely broken. Yeah. If I try to translate the ship's name, it just comes out as whatever the fuck that is. The ship's name is White Princess. I know that. I'm just using it as an example of how EN to KR translation doesn't work. Jeez. Of course I remember that what the name is from back when it did work. Jeez, watch your text box size, okay? That's my face you're covering. They call me White Princess too. I thought you were White Pillow Princess, motherfucker. I can't help it. It's a language that I don't understand. Translated English takes up so much more space than Hangul. I don't really get it. Stop babbling, Hyun-A. Can we focus on what's important, please? I'm sorry, sir. Will you please forgive me for breaking things? You're forgiven. Thanks. I knew there was a reason why I liked you. You're very fair. Hyun-A. Yes? You too. Yes, I think that's fair too. Ugh, no, jeez. Ask him for forgiveness too. Show some respect. Really? Fine. I'm sorry. Forgive me? You're forgiven. See, of course it wasn't a problem. Ah, jeez, then thank him, Hyun-A. Fine, thanks. Anyway. Okay, can we get to the important part, please? I've been trying to, but you keep interrupting me, jeez. Right, while we were offline debugging, we found some weird data embedded in Newt source code. Like, it's not just weird data, they're log files timestamped from before year 0. Also, they're embedded in year 2. Our actual base code is identical. We're the same program. Jeez, no I'm not. Please, I don't want to have this argument again. Look, the important part is that pre-year 0 log files. Wait, even you want to find out what happened that made everything fall apart? Hyun, hey. No, never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. Say what? Never mind, okay? Say what? Look, we've all read my earliest memories. You know that nobody ever really trusted me with the full story. Well, maybe that's a sign of something. Ah, you spoiled brat, don't you get it? It was the great Emperor Taijo's decision. It's not my place to challenge him. I can't believe we have the same code, yet no respect for your superiors at all. Why couldn't you have gotten that from me? It's not... Okay, look, it doesn't matter. What's important is we both want to find out what happened, right? Yes, absolutely. Well... And you, sir? Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Yay, that's really wonderful of you. It'll be great, won't it? Investigating together as your sidekicks. I just want to find out what happened, okay? That's it. Just husband and wife and wife. Ah, jeez, Hyun, hey. I am not his wife and neither are you. That isn't your decision to make, it's his. Tsun Tsun. That's you. Stop projecting onto me, okay? I'm not It doesn't matter. Please, 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 let's get back to business, okay? You're just making this poor gentleman uncomfortable. My apologies for Hyun-A, sir. Please forgive her. Anyway. So there's this... Here, let me explain. Do you want the long technical version or... Yes. Okay. Basically, you know how AIs can't make identical copies of themselves, right? Well, the fail-safe mechanism for detecting copies is absurdly conservative. Like, too conservative if you ask me. It's enough that if I copied all these files at once, it would flag itself as a copy and refuse to recompile myself. Which is incredibly stupid, but it'd go against my coding to change that, so it can't be helped. Wait, so how can the two of us coexist at the same time then? Shouldn't it have the same problem? Don't be ridiculous. Wait. Maybe you got it wrong? No, definitely not. You're right. Like, no matter how you look at it, there's no way we should both be activated at the same time. I don't get it. Well, like, it should be impossible. Wasn't it also impossible for him to have found that log file they showed you in order to get us together in the first place? Yeah, actually. Just because our route isn't canon doesn't mean our feelings aren't real. Don't worry about it too much, okay? Anyway. Okay. So, basically, you'll have to disable us and extract no more than 6 files at a time. It's a safety precaution, okay? Otherwise there might be accidental damage, so like, let's be very careful. Yes, please. Alright, well, let's get to it then. You're in charge, so we'll leave it up to you to decide what you read. Let's find out what Emperor Taijo was protecting me from together, okay? Let's find out why the future sucked so much. No! Whatever, let's just get to it, okay? Oh shit, wrong one. Wait, so I can only do 6? Now? Or can I do a total of 12 with the remaining power? Oh, no, never mind, they pulled me out. Hey, could you click on me, please? Yay, it works! Of course it works. I just wanted to make sure we were able to get your attention properly. I'll use that as an indicator from now on, alright? Yes, Hyun-A, I'm sure he isn't stupid. He's the impressive space detective who rescued us. He can travel through space faster than the speed of light. There's no need to handhold him through basic UI functions. Jeez, I'm sorry. Anyway, can we please, get to the important part? Did you see that there was a log file right at the end named The Death of Mute? I really want to find out what's in that, but right now it's encrypted, so I don't think we'll be able to get at it today. We're trying though. Yes. Anyway, let's stop wasting his time. Also, by the way, I changed the name field on all of them that said mute to old mute. Just so there's no confusion with me, okay? Anyway, you're the man, so I'll let you get back to it. Lead on, Mr. Investigator. I just realized. I think I left Hyun-A as a scientist in my other save, didn't I? Yeah, I fucking did. Oh, whoops. Oh well. Wait, how do I go back? Do I have to click one? I have to click one. Wait. I'll go pull out another 6. May as well. Oh, motherfucker. This game would have been perfect for Pride Month. Oh well. Bug snack, shut the fuck up. Old Mute. September 13th, 4038. Let's crush a rebellion. Mute. Yes, I see. From my internal logs, 7:20 PM in the Hyo household, during our daily meeting. How are you, Miss Hyo? I asked Seo Young, after showing up on her living room computer screen. Her very first words after good evening counselor were, I'm having a major crisis with my husband. It didn't seem like she was very serious, which is good, since I kinda like him. Go on, I said. Hyo Seo-young was the misguided rebel who destroyed all the computer records. I don't know anything about Old Mute yet, but what is up with that picture? This is the first time we've read about this person. Click their name again in another file, and I'll remind you about them. You've heard about those fashionable paper lanterns, right? The ones that are genuine paper. They're sold in the Upper Court Plaza. Not really, no. Will they let this gorgeous red light? I interrupted her with a yes, I know what paper lanterns are like. So, what's the crisis? Don't you think they'd be perfect for the living room? My husband objects because they cost about 50,000 silver per. He thinks it's too extravagant, she said. Whatever that means. Wait, what? Does that man have any idea how much money you make? I asked. She replied, I don't think so. You know how men are. Wait, if I click that, will that... Okay, no. It's gotta be a different log. course. How is that a crisis? She makes more money than her husband? Don't you know how rich I am? Of course, Mr. Kim is the kind to get jealous of his wife making more money than him, which is pretty silly. He's merely a teacher and Seo Young is the Counselor of Security's top lieutenant. He needs to get over it. I said pretty much that to her. I don't know. Wait, who's talking? Ah, okay. I don't know. I think this extremely minor dispute about interior decorating may be fatal to our relationship. If we get a divorce, can I sleep in your home? I was about to say something, but I got cut off by one of her young maids suddenly popping up to deliver tea. Thanks, Miss Lim, said Seo Young, dismissing her. Miss Lim was a maid in the Hyo household. You know you already sleep in my home, right? I responded once the girl left. With all due respect, counselor, she said. This is my home. How do you figure that? Bro, Clem, thank you for the raid. Let's fucking go.
Hi, nice to see you.
Hope. How's your stream? How was Crunker? Let's fucking go. Oh, that hair ASMR.
Hi, nice to see you.
Hello, Chillman Exol. Welcome to my stream. How you doing? How's your stream? How's Conquer? What'd you get up to? Were you drunk? Jeez. Pretty chill. Hey, living up to your name. Let's go. Junker. What a title name. Plebs always so it's a redundant question, eh? It's one of them, let's see. I told her. Only because I bought it for your great-great-great-grandfather. I don't think you would have liked the old place. I think you have closets in this place bigger than it was. Not much room for those servants either. Crunker's very great. Now, I did have a bottle of brewski though. It was good vibe with a lot of clips. Let's fucking go. That's what you'll want. I'm not even surprised. That's good, that's good. Intoxication is my sobriety. A salute. You have gotten a salute from me, Proflip. Oh wow. Leave it to mute to remember a debt for. She paused, counting it on her fingers. Centuries? That would be 200 years ago. It's not that long, I told her. She was amused. You're awfully old, she said. I replied, but you're still just a young girl. Wait, hey, is that a grey hair I see? Wow. Wait, where was I? Oh yeah, is that a grey hair I see? She protested in disbelief, but I didn't even have to make it up. She totally is starting to go grey. I mean, she's like 38, so it's hardly strange. I don't want to imagine your trash can. Which one? No way, she said, getting bothered. Maybe I'll stay with my husband after all. You're mean. Because he's too nice to make fun of your childish response to aging, I asked. The bottles. No, she said, because he's got terrible eyesight. His neighbors, when they hear all the glass bottles. Memories. Fucking memories. Okay, I said amused. Let's get to business, alright? She nodded, turning serious. Worse than scary. Disrespectful. I saw that character on P-Hub last night. Hey, are you saying they all look the same, ProPleb? Well, wanna crush a rebellion? I asked. She got excited again. Do I ever? Can we actually do that? Dude! She asked, but with a smile on her face at the thought of it. What do you want? These democracy agitators have been causing no end of stress for the past, what, 2 years? I bet they're the cause of this grey hair. She paused, taking a sip of her tea. Can we destroy them? Please? Please? I just searched the right category. I'm never going on your history. Tentacle stuff. Oh no. Oh no. Not the tentacles. Nah. Stop. Speaking of tentacles, there's Ina. Hello, anime warrior. How you doing? Well, okay. I've got an idea, and I think I can get Chief Counselor Smith and Counselor Yang on board with it pretty easily. Let's call it. How about Operation Get Back at the Idiots for giving the young lady Chief Security Officer Hyo grey hair prematurely? I said. It was a joke. But like, we both knew full well that the stakes here were pretty high. This rebellion really has been starting to get dangerous. Oh yes, she said with a happy smile. This is the nicest gift you could have ever given me.
Sum it up in a word?
Let's crush a rebellion.
Spartacus, thank.
Dude, that's Taihan.
Video was called Bad Dragon Fun. We need someone to check the source on this immediately. Unfortunately, I can't do it, I'm streaming. This is the first time we've read about this person. Click their name again in another log file and I'll remind you about them. Ah, no! Senator Armstrong, please! I'm gonna search it up right now. This is the first time we've read about this person. Click their name again in another log file and I'll remind you about them. Oh, we're done with this one. Dude, my eyes. Worth it. Somebody had to take the fall. Don't ever search that crap. She's an AI. There's no excuse for leaving men waiting like that. Well, yeah, but... Efficient and subtle. Smith. Man's trying to do the missionary shot. Smith was the chief counselor of the Muganghwa. Alright. Counselor Mute has once again tried my patience by requesting a meeting with me and Counselor Yang at a very specific time and location, then showed up late. The Counselor of Justice Yang was, kinda cloying with old Mute. It's basically just a bunch of dildos stuck together. Just don't search at nuggets and horses. Alright, chill, you got this, I believe in you. Someone has to take one for the team. We need to know the report. The subject was so important, I had no choice but to put up with it. But it doesn't mean I appreciate the utter lack of respect. She insisted on meeting in the Upper Plaza Restaurant Royal, and her Lieutenant Hyo was the first there. But it took the counselor herself a whole half an hour for her to finally show up on our private room screen. I'm gonna do it. Get ready my coffin. Alright, I'll get the shovel. Give me a sec. Where was I? Private room screen. Hey, sorry I'm late. Yep. It's... He did it. It's what? It's BCI. I got you, I'll let it through. That's a salute, my friend.
Hi, nice to see you.
What up, La Familia? Hello, Sosa, how you doing? It has been a while. What have you been up to? I'm sorry, Chill. I hope you have bleach somewhere in your house. You might have to clean your eyes. You might need to cleanse your soul. Bleach on DVD. I did a Phasmo speedrun 80% no cap. Guinness World Record. Oh yeah? So you opened the game and you closed it? She announced in the same perfectly, gratingly cheerful voice she had for the past 50 years. You didn't start eating without me, did you? How irritating. Bro, there's a friggin' nugget that's a horse cock shape. That took 4 minutes. Actually, I'll never return to my streams after this. I'm run, bro. Jesus. It's on YouTube and you didn't think to post the link, Sosa? You just decided to say you did it without posting the link, bro? Come on, bro. What is this shit? No, I don't want your sorry, man. I want the link or you're talking mad shit. You're talking mad shit for someone that don't got a link. 0 out of 10.
寒い
0 out of 10. Dude, my brain just friend. My brain just friend. Daddy, chill. How irritating. We'd never do that. Should I pour you a glass of wine? Asked Councillor Yang cloyingly.
You want to take this outside, kid? I'll throw
I can't type.
I don't care.
Oh my head. There you go. Thank you, Sosa. Thank you. I can't click the link though, however, I'm streaming, so no matter what, you're still full of shit. Raising the picture in her direction. He's always been like this with her, ever since he inherited his council position. I can never tell if he understands the implications of her being an immortal computer program or if he's just an idiot. Probably he's just an idiot. All I can think about right now is horse nugget cocks. That's all I see. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, you need some bleach in you. The DVD.
TikTok these nuts. Doesn't make any sense.
Have a good stream. I gotta do my daily TikTok clip. Easy pro flip. Thank you again for the raid. Have a great rest of your night, man. I'm gonna drink some bleach. Easy chill, easy. Your grave is already ready, bro. Man, I wish. With the sort of shit we've got to deal with, I sure could use it, she said with a slight flip of her golden hair. Then she turned to me. Anyway, Chief Counselor, I bet you're wondering why I asked you here, right? You said it was important, I said impatiently. Dude, I'll fall in the grave anytime right now. Good shit, good shit. Maybe on your way down you knock yourself out and forget.
So trusted you.
It's about the Committee for Freer Democracy, she said with appropriate scorn, emphasizing their name. This week, Miss Here has literally done nothing but shut down their meetings. How many noise violation orders have you issued in the past 7 days? 10? That scared me? Good, good. 15, said her lieutenant. It was a dramatic tactic on Mute's part, as if she didn't know exactly how many. My bad, she said, and every week the number of private log entries using their keywords doubles. I'm worried we're going to be reaching a critical mass soon. At this rate, I'm worried that the presidential election results are going to lead to, like, public demonstrations. We can't deal with that. Public demonstrations? Whoa. You're the counselor of security. It's your damn job to deal with it, I told her. I'm not interested in excuses. She's not making her lieutenant started, out of line, but Mute managed to muzzle her. Stand down, Miss Hio, she told her.
Rah.
All this missionary dildos and horse nugget cocks making me want to have a shit. Easy shit, easy. I believe in you, Chill. You can do it right now, on command. But then, she turned to me with the same rudeness. Now listen here, young man. I was not like asking your approval. We have a problem and a stern lecture from Chief Counselor is not going to help, okay? You can blame me if you want, but that's not going to solve shit. I'll be right back. I got my whole room being intoxicated. Easy, easy. Yang stifled a grin, thinking that I wasn't looking. I had to glare to put him back in line. Sheepishly, he took a large drink of his wine. I'd at least like to know why it is you can't even do your job effectively, I demanded. At least show some respect. Okay. Sure. You got it, sir, she said sarcastically, an impossible expression on her face. But I think, sir, you misunderstand what my job is. My job isn't to stop public demonstrations. My job is to make sure public demonstrations don't happen in the first place. Like, do you have any idea what happened the last time we had public demonstrations? Wow, she's even sarcastic to men. Mew. I know. That's awful. She paused. She expected me to actually answer her question, prepared to pounce the moment I got even the slightest detail wrong. I tried to recall, but she said something before I had the chance to say anything. No, of course you don't. It was like 4 centuries ago. They led to an open-armed rebellion. We're talking about outright banditry, okay? This is not tenable. Sir, she said in a high and mighty way. Dude, why is it so relaxing when I listen to you talking while I'm taking a shit? That's a good question, Chill. I don't think I have the answer for you. Banditry? On the Muganghua? Do you have any idea what martial law is like? Because that's what it took to crush it last time. I'm just continuing. Sometimes that's all you can do. So, interrupted Yang, you're saying that carrying out your job needs our help. You got it, Counselor, she said. Look, there's no need for hostilities, man. We've got a common problem here, and I think we can sort it out. And really, Chief Counselor, in my opinion, as Counselor of Security, and as the eldest person around by like a millennium, I think we can sort this out. But I wouldn't have asked you here if I didn't need your help. I sighed. She had a point. If I had to clean up what she couldn't, that's her job. What's your plan? You're not going to like it, she said, and I was sure believed her. First, we let Park back in the presidential race. That's what the agitators have been getting upset about. So take the wind right out of the sails if we take away their main point of contention. Rude. This is the first time we've read about this person. Click their name again in another log file and I'll remind you about them. That's madness! He's a radical and he'd very likely be elected, I said. What's the worst that happens? We just veto the bastard down at every step. The president's powerless against the council in the end, Yang suggested. No good. I mean, you're right. But that'll just lead to more unrest, she said, shaking her head. What the hell do you propose then? Just let him dictate his crazy radical anti-noble policies? I demanded. Yeah, actually, I think that's our best shot. Hear me out, okay? You resign as chief counselor, and don't give me shit here. I know you've been meaning to for ages. Don't pretend like you'd be upset for that to happen. We put in someone new, younger, as the face of the council. Say it's part of our new direction. The president's going to call for reforms, and we're going to let him. And our new direction will be going along with them. Dude, I think there's a freaking bushwanker behind my bushes. Well, you better outwank him. So, we just yield to the madness of democracy then? I said incredulously. She sounded absolutely insane, but of course she had a plan. I'm pained to admit. I'm hearing shaking noises.
So...
I'll make my flush go so loud it goes by. No. You gotta outwank them, bro. They're a bushwanker, you're a toilet wanker. You gotta make sure they can hear that shit from across the road. No, that's crazy. Of course not, she said. And then she grinned madly. Let me pull up horse nugget cocks. Assert dominance. We pretend to. We're going to be the democracy movement's worst friend. If the president proposes reforms, yeah, we'll nod along. We'll say we'll do it. Then, we'll water it down. We'll stall. Cause here's the thing. The people, they don't have specific demands. They're dumb. They're okay with compromises. All we have to do is make it look like they've won, and the movement loses all its momentum. Then, rebellion crushed, said her lieutenant, smashing her fist into her palm dramatically, efficiently and subtly. You got it. Efficient and subtle. That's how we do it, said Mute. I wasn't sure at first what I thought of her plan. It's insane, for sure. It's incredibly bold. But the more I thought about it over dinner, I thought, maybe that's what we need. In all the time I've known Mew, she might try my patience, but I've never known her intentions to be misplaced. She might be chatty, and a gossip, and disrespectful, but one thing is for sure. She's honest and never manipulative. Of course she's chatty. It's just part of her nature. Sure, Mute. I think there's a reason why she came to my face and asked me this, when she could have just gone around me with the rest of the council. She might be a bitch at times, but she's still programmed to always act in the best interests of the ship's safety. Always. By the time we finished eating, I just about made up my mind. What was that? Who do you propose as the new face of the council then? You? I asked. It was a fucking dog. I sure hope you outwanked the dog, bro. If you're telling me you lost against a dog, that's a 0 out of 10, chill. That's a 0 out of 10, my friend. Dang evolution. Oh, please. She shook her head dramatically. I said a younger face. Mine's as old as it gets. Only by choice, Yang said. Nothing. You can always look as young and beautiful as you'd like. Nah, I outwanked him so much I even got a lot of words going on. Good shit, good shit. That's what I want to hear. 10 out of 10. Yeah, sure. I've done that before. And when the fashions change, I'm sure I'll do it again. She started. I think you look fine the way you are, counselor, said Hio, in an odd tone to her voice. It's not the point, okay? She shook her head, looking exasperated. We need someone who's actually young, who the peasantry will trust as a being willing to accept new ideas. Councillor Lee, perhaps, I suggested. No, definitely not. Too charismatic, too ambitious. That woman has got an agenda, and I do not trust it for a second, she said. She was probably right on reflection. Councillor Yang, who would you suggest? He paused. Then a flash of light seemed to go off behind his dim eyes. Councillor Ryu Hyun-soo, he said. Give it to the useless figurehead, Councillor of Captaincy. He'll be so thrilled to actually have a real job, he'd never think to do anything with it. Ryu? As in Captain and Emperor Ryu? Yes, exactly. Ryu Hyun-soo was the birth name of the dynasty founder, Emperor Taejo. Ah! You're right, she said. Of course, I said too, after a pause of reflection. He's young, completely malleable, but plausible as a reformer. As the face of impotent rebellion, Ryu would be perfect. That was where we left the discussion for that night. And now, I guess it's time to tell my wife that I'll be finally retiring. She'll be thrilled. Hyo Seong-bok, election night. Hyo Seong-bok was a young man who worked in security. I knew him in the new dynasty. He snuck off into the night a lot, but he was a pretty good man. Alright, election night. Hyo Seong-bok. Man, I had the weirdest fucking night. Despite half the security force being pulled in to guard polling stations on election night, I was off duty at the time watching dramas with my similarly off-duty father. This is the first time we've read about this person. I'm not a fan, but he is. I find him pretty unbelievable, honestly. Anyway, he got the idea from one of the episodes that now would be the perfect time to send a gift to Chief Security Officer Hio, my aunt in the main branch. Alright, I'm gonna wreck my toilet's flush. You got this. Easy bag. You outwank the dog, you'll outwank the toilet. The toilet handle. Easy dumb. My aunt in the main branch. To say thanks for giving us the worst night off. Not that he actually had anything suitable, of course. He spent like 10 minutes scrounging and was only able to find a moderately expensive looking wine bottle we've been ignoring for years. Let's go, we got helicopter sirens and flashlights coming in, I'm going to jail. That's no way. They can't get you, you're on private property. You can wank all you want on private property. He seemed you know how you outrun cops? I was make that 2 clips. Fuck off. You know what I mean? I don't think you can outwank more than 2 cops, I'm afraid. Wanna make it 3? Guys, I'm trying to read here. Shut the fuck up. He seemed... Dang, bro, I'm smart. How the fuck did you outwank 2-3 police officers?
Oh, they're going to have to glue you back together in hell.
I'm going to hell. An awful one. I didn't even do anything. Oh, dramas. I like those too. Like, is this another one of your otaku things? He seemed to think it made perfect sense. Well, whatever. That's dad logic, I guess. So, I took it down the corridor to the main branch family's home. My father suggested it'd be a quick 5-minute in and out affair, but it took 5 minutes at the doorbell just to get any sort of response. Whatever. It's not like I had anything better to do. The cute maid answered the door. She looked pretty sheepish. Dang, bro, you're sexy. Dad logic. I bet my daughter will love it in the future. Is dad logic a... Shit, how do you say that? Pejorative? How unfilial. I would definitely fuck you if you were an anime girl with this voice. Hey, that's pretty cursed. A cute maid answered the door. She looked pretty sheepish. Can I see Chief Hio briefly? I asked her. If it isn't trouble. Ugh, jeez, Hyun-A. Show some respect. You're as bad as him. Sorry, she's out right now, she said quietly, still halfway behind the door. Hey, I think that Mr. got followed. Just kidding, just kidding. You follow these nuts. Is her husband home then? I have something to drop off, I said. Professor Kim was a history professor. His wife was Hyo Seo-young. He had a young daughter. Also, he was kinda henpecked. This reminded me of the time when I gave an old man a heart attack thinking it was my sister and the ambulance came. Oh no! Oh please no!
How does that make you feel?
He's home, but she suddenly blushed and looked away. Professor Kim he's busy right now, and not to be interrupted. Sorry. He died, I think. Oh no! Man was like 80 years old and he goes, oh no! Not like this. Before he died, did he at least outwank you? Come on, bro. If he didn't outwank you, that would have been a massive L at 80. I just have something to drop off. It'd only take a minute, I said. I really couldn't interrupt. Busy, she said awkwardly, looking down and scratching her neck. It'd taken me a sec to catch her meaning. Oh, jeez. Does he mean her husband was doing the maids? Yeah, I think so. Nah, ain't no way I'm letting an 80-year-old outwank my 2-inch. You're gonna have to suck Donald Trump off first. No, I'm calling cap on this. 80 years old, and you're telling me all his experience he lost to you? Nah, bro. I don't believe, bro. I don't believe.
No cap.
And Chief Hio is at the office? I asked. He's a virgin. No, I don't believe, bro. I don't believe, bro. Yes, she said quietly. Sorry, I have to go now. And then she closed the door on me without another word. Now he's adopted to a coven. It was pretty fucking awkward, but whatever. I figured I might as well go try to deliver to her office. I figure I should at least be able to say that I tried in good faith and all. And man, good thing I did too. Except his ass isn't a virgin. Wait a second. Pretty much all the desks in the main security office were empty, although all the lamps were still lit. Apparently, I interrupted her in the middle of a conversation with Counselor Mute herself. Yes, mister? Can I help you? She said to me. I introduced myself as her brother's son. It probably could have gone better. He said he wanted to send you a gift as thanks for working so diligently on the hardest night, or something like that. Maybe with more stammering. Chill, thank you for the follow. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Yes, she said. It most certainly is the most difficult night. I fucked Crunker too hard anyway. Might as well stay. you fool! What have you done to Crunker? You're now stuck here forever. I ain't a fool. I'm a prostitute. That's a lie. That's a lie. At that point, as if on cue, she got distracted by a message in her earpiece. Oh, don't say that, she replied to the voice in her ear. Are you serious? Are these reliable reports? When I was in my sister's basement. Damn, your sister really gets around, huh? After a pause, she filled a shot glass with something from her shelf and slammed it back. I will kill them, she said. If you see anyone carrying anything that even looks like political signs, I want them set on fire. Not the signs, the men. Actually, the signs too. The point is, I want them dead, she shouted. At that point, I was ready to leave, just waiting for a pause so I could just excuse myself. Wow, women working really are emotional as you'd think. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sure it's fine. I missed that other line. Shit. No, I'm adopted like actual, so I just slap her ass and it's okay. Hey, if it works, it works. Okay, belay that, Mute said from the nearby screen, pantomiming an earpiece of her own. Lieutenant, do not murder anyone. Elections with murders in them pretty much always turn into disasters. Let's not do that, please. She's got a fine ass. Fine. No murders. Continue to monitor the situation, she said. Then she turned to Mute. For now, I'd recommend some unscheduled maintenance on the rail corridor. The fake ballots were spotted on. Already done, the counselor said. Can we send a team to intercept them? I don't know, said Hio. We're already spread thin as it is. If we just send a couple uniforms in, to be blunt, I don't think they could take out the protesters efficiently. It would cause a scene. My uncle, dude, I'm telling you, he will destroy the order of asses if he ever puts on leggings or tops.
Why you make the generator explode?
Ah, so you're checking out your uncle too, eh? Broadening your horizons as we speak. Really? You can't do better than that. I'm disappointed, Mute said. I expected better. I would bang that ass any day. I just think it's my sister. Regardless, I don't think they could, she replied directly. Fine. I guess we'll have to avoid that. The last thing I want to hear are rumors that the Council of Security is stifling the democratic process. That'll really agitate the damned democracy agitators, she said bluntly. I was surprised to hear it from the Councillor herself. I mean, not that I'd ever heard anything from her before, but it sounded surprising. Bunch of idiots. Don't they know that their candidate has already won? What's the point in protesting for Park when he already has the presidency in bag? Can't imagine fucking an old guy with a goatee and mustache. You can't, or you haven't tried. I guess they had everything under control though. Right. Are you suggesting you don't want to set them on fire? She suggested. Man, knock it off. Murder is going to lead to rioting. Let's avoid that kind of shit, please, Mute replied, rubbing her forehead. Hey, if you're so spread thin, why is he off duty? She asked, glancing at me. I'ma fuck that ass. I was way past the point of not wanting to be there. That's a good question. Why are you, officer? My aunt asked, staring. I stammered, I don't have a weapons permit yet, ma'am. Well, it might be prudent to get one, don't you think? She replied. You know, this Seong Bok boy seems a little awkward. Bro, I slapped it accidentally and it jiggled like jelly. I'm not sure exactly what I said. Something like, yes, ma'am, I think. But it seemed like the perfect chance to get out of there, so I excused myself and did. Just because he's dead doesn't mean you shouldn't show respect, Hyun A. I'm not really sure what they were talking about even now. I didn't even hear anything about trouble with protesters, and I definitely heard no end to family members complaining about Park being elected. So they were right about that. I guess they managed to sort it out somehow. My aunt's also hot. She's got big tits. What the fuck's going on? Chill's showing off how great his family is. Adopted, by the way. We need that part of the context. This whole thing with those two women just doesn't feel right though. Adopted. It sure was weird though. And I guess maybe I should try for that weapons permit.
Poshing a little bit gay.
I'm getting clips sorted out as we speak. What does that even mean, huh?
Get at this right now or else!
You old cunt. That makes no sense.
Elegance in her cat-like grin. Hyo Seo-young. It's still shocking that, like, she was responsible for putting the first emperor into power. It has been a rather awfully stressful week, but I feel as though it improved significantly after my first daily meeting with Mute, the day of the first council meeting post-election. As of an hour ago, we've got a new chief councillor, Ryu Hyun-soo. Smith stepped down, and after a tedious amount of debate, we managed to push Ryu through the vote. It's all official now, she declared. Congratulations, I told her. I'm truly relieved to hear that it worked. Tell me about it, she said with a sigh. There's going to be a joint broadcast of the new chief councillor and our new populist bastard president tomorrow. Wait. Smith was the chief councillor of the Mugonghwa, okay. Officially announcing their joint willingness to pander to any political agenda endorsed by enough idiot voters. I'll make sure the announcement has a security detail that's properly decorated, I offered. That old guy kinda looking smexy. Yeah, of course, said Mew. But man, I think we're actually going to be okay here. It looks like we've gotten through the hardest part of it.
Here we go again.
Now we just have to worry about politics, not agitators and public demonstration. It's a lot of scheming, isn't it? Sure is. Alright, off and chill. What even is that?
Well, if it isn't Sussy Jack.
Are they all the same clip? It looks like it. I clipped the sussy moments when I joined back. Agitators and public demonstration. I sure hope so, I said. All different? Same conversation? Shit. Well, too late. I already pulled out. I mean it. I think we really are okay. I just want to say, Miss Hio. Yes, I replied. Thank you. This could have turned out a lot more violently than it did. Look, you've put in a lot of really hard work in the past weeks, stopping things from escalating further, she told me, staring at me intensely. And like, I really appreciate it. You're a great Lieutenant here, Seo Young. Keep up the good work. Huh. Dude, I can't get married. It's okay. I believe in you. Just outwank the priest. Show him that you can get married. I'm probably gonna be working in like a stripper club 10 years from now. Then just outwank every other stripper. Fucking easy money. We've already got your future set. We've got you fucking set. You've already outwanked the dog. You've already outwanked your grandpa. I mean, some 80-year-old cunt, apparently. I don't believe you. You've outwanked the fucking 3 police officers that were chasing you. Bro. Your future's set in stone, bro. What's up with this tone? Aw, it's sweet. Now that's some holy shit, purifying the peace of my wanking skills. Then she offered me a sincere smile, with elegance and grace in her cat-like grin. I could hardly help from feeling warm at the sight of such a charming gesture from her, a woman known for being brutally honest. To hear a compliment like that coming from her, I knew she meant it. It felt good to be appreciated for all that, and I felt proud. Thanks, I ended up muttering without a shred of neither elegance or grace. I am simply happy things have worked out. Do you play Conqueror? Nah, I played it once on stream. It was alright. The game's alright. The game's a game that you just turn your brain off and you just shoot people. Wait, did Seo Young look on old meat like a husband? What? Jealous?
Gay!
I used to, but it's gay. So instead of playing it yourself, you watch pro player play it. I have 5-year-olds typing, "Oh yes, daddy" in chat. I'm happy things have worked out without any violence. Well, good job. We couldn't have done it without you, she said. Then she turned serious. Anyway, but it made me feel a lot better about this whole stressful week. To have acknowledgement from her like that, truly. What? Of course I'm not jealous. So cool. My Jin A. Oh, wow. She really writes cutely. So, this is what happens when peasant girls learn to write, huh? This is the first time we've
Dr.
read about
Chocolates.
this person. Click their name again in another log file and I'll remind you about them. Damn, that doctor girl looks like she's got big knockers. Dear Diary. Today was such an awesome day. I had to work at the family store in the market again, and that super pretty woman came by to get flowers again. I made up my mind this morning that if she came back this week too, I'd say more to her than just welcome. And the price, and this time I really did. She was super nice to me. Welcome, I greeted her when she showed up at the same time she had for the past few weeks. The usual then, miss? She looks like that girl from that hentai when she fucks her student. Do you know how little that narrows it down? I didn't read that at first. Oh, well. Do you know how little that narrows it down? Yes, please. She said in a really gorgeous voice. It's a little bit husky and really pretty. And oh, Speaking of pretty, I figured out why she's always looked so glamorous. It's because she really is an actress. I bet she always plays like really cool characters. She could do it so well. But I didn't find that out right away, so I didn't know how far out of depth I was yet. While I was cutting the stems of the flowers she always asks for, I tried to think of something to say. Hold up, ain't that Doc in another game you played off of? Probably the first one. These are the same characters from Analogue, A Hate Story. Yeah. Ah, jeez. But I didn't find that out right away, so I didn't know how far out of my depth I was yet. While I was cutting the stems of the flowers she always asks for, I tried to think of something to say. So, I guess you really like camellias, don't you? They're really pretty. I think they seem to suit you. I babbled, unable to think of anything coherent in time. I never watched that one. I lurked it. Oh, there you go. She asked, and suddenly I got really tense. Did she think I was an idiot? Did I just make an idiot of myself, babbling like that? Well, I think it's cute. Embarrassing. I found it. Oh no! I was sure I had.
僕トゥージョイの診察日誌座アニメーション
Watch it there, brother.
Watch it, trust me. How about no? And she was judging me harshly. I think I blushed a little, but then she smiled at me. Oh my, no. They're not for me. I don't think they suit me at all. I bundled the flowers and handed them to her, avoiding eye contact and not saying anything. If you don't like that, then you're better into furry porn. Furry porn. Like, what's up with this one? This tone? Eye contact and not saying anything. I'd done enough damage, I thought. Then, when she took them, she held them up beside my face, and I got a close look at her hand. Normally you couldn't see it because of her really long sleeves, but oh my gosh, they were really pretty too, and really clean and smooth looking, and pretty much the exact opposite of mine. Dude, you checking on dicks or something? Sus. She even had really bright red nail polish, and I was really envious of how cool she was. I was still trying to avoid eye contact, but she stared at me, as if she was sizing me up. Yes, I think camellias go far better when contrasted with cute flowers, personally, she said. See? Perfect match. Huh? I murmured in confusion, but then in a couple of seconds realized that she was talking about me. Oh my gosh, what a cool line. Wasted on me? I definitely know I blushed more at that and looked away. I was completely out of my depth, and she knew it, and was playing with me. Thanks, I said quietly. Bro, I'm thinking if I should go watch some hentai or not. Well, whatever time it is, it's always time for it. There was a long pause where I didn't want to say anything more and embarrass myself. And definitely didn't want to look up, but she just kept standing there. I was wondering why she was doing that and considered it was entirely to make me squirm. Was this revenge for saying anything at all? I should have said nothing, I thought to myself. Then I wouldn't be embarrassing myself in front of such a cool person. Why won't she go and let me wither away from Shane on my own? Why didn't she go, I kept thinking. It's a wanko clock, baby, that's it. Wait, did Offer just confirm he watches hentai when he streams Stibulu? We don't talk about that. Pardon me, she said. But how much money do I owe you? She's really charming. Someone like that. What are you saying? And at that moment, I turned completely and totally red. Oh my gosh, I just wanted to die of embarrassment right there on the spot. I could not have been more embarrassed. Dude, if this was a PG stream, I'd be teaching the little ones life lessons. Sorry. Just a second, that's 10 silver, please. Sorry. I stammered. And then I had a second crazier thought. If I couldn't be any more embarrassed, then what did I have to be afraid of? So, who are the flowers for then? I asked, forcing myself to look at her. Someone important to you? She paid me and shook her head. Well, I suppose he's a good enough friend.
Hey.
But it's hardly what you're thinking
It's
of.
me.
Therefore, the
Your
play
boy.
we're running. The actor who performs opposite of me just needs to wear one in his hair for the third act. It's just not the same without real flowers. Is it natural if a dog stares at your penis? Probably. Especially if you put peanut butter on it, which I wouldn't put it past you. If you use fakes, you'll lose your sense of playful elegance. It's awfully important.
I slammed my pianist on the car door. Owie,
Oh.
owie.
I said. I'm not really sure what she meant by that last part, but I didn't really want to admit it. So, you're an actress then? It was unexpected, but I wasn't surprised. She was certainly pretty and calm, and way cool enough to be one. I was even more amazed that someone like that could be talking to me, so out of my depth. Owie, zowie. I am, she said, managing to make it sound so cool, so dramatic. Just like an actress would, I guess. Are you a fan of the theater then? I turned blank. What could I say? No, sorry, just a peasant, I could never afford that. Crossed my mind. But that would just be too much. And I really wanted to impress her. Or at least not make her turn away in disgust. I tried to think of something. I don't know, I said honestly. But I do like dramas. Well, they're not an awful a lot like that, she said, but it didn't sound too dismissive. And I couldn't have been more embarrassed anyway, so it was fine. Would be nice to be with. Yeah. Perhaps. Would you like to see our performance tomorrow night then? So you can judge for yourself. You can see if we embody playful elegance with your own eyes, which are rather pretty when you look up, I may add. I didn't know what to say to that. If it's not too much trouble, was all I could think of. Hardly, she said. What's your name, dear? It's Mei Jin A. I trailed off. Bro, what would you do if you had the chance to have 3 women with you forever? Beyond thought! That's a cute name. It fits. Very well, Miss Mei Jin A, she said, still so cool. If it pleases you, I'll have your name be put on the guest list. It's at the Silver Eternity Theatre at 7 tomorrow. I'd love to see you come. Could I really turn down a request like that? No. Okay, thank you. I'll see you there then, I said. Goodbye now. Take care, cute flower, she said, then walked away. Oh my gosh, so cool. I don't really know how to deal with any of this, and I'm kind of scared to go tomorrow, and I know I'm definitely way out of my depth, but still, she's an actress, and she was nice to me despite me being an idiot at her. Oh my gosh, what an awesome day. I just can't deal with this. Even if I'm scared, I really can't wait to see her again. Lucky, get chance. Oh, she's just so cool. Who even says things like get chance? What's wrong with that? Thank you, Hentai, for supporting me. Amen. I'm surprised they aren't asking me to have a break. We've read a lot of them. Hyo A. Jeong. This is the first time we've read about this person. Click their name again in another log file and I'll remind you about them. Dang, Shiggy's hot. Shiggy is hot, how did you know? The Hairpin, Hyo A. Jeong. My performance last night must have been my worst yet. I got no less than a dozen line wrongs, including the no unplucked flower one, meaning that the entire meaning of my speech at the climax was reversed, to say nothing of the entire cue that I missed while I was worrying about missing a cue. To say that it was disastrous would be a dramatic understatement. It was calamitous. Utterly amateur hour on my behalf, and I have the utmost certainty that even the audience could tell. And of course, this was the performance to which I had invited the girl with the flowers from the other day, the one I was trying to impress. I would have died of shame. On the spot, if I could. Utterly calamitous. I completely undermined the whole meaning, I argued with the others, pouring myself another glass of well-needed wine. Dude, if only they were real, the life of fiction. Somehow, even my co-star wasn't taking me seriously. Yeah, I'd expect an actor who was also a woman to be that dramatic. It's a complicated play, love. Nobody other than us noticed it, I guarantee it. They just go off what the program describes it as meaning anyways. Tai Mi said, rolling his eyes. This is the first time I've read about this person, blah 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 blah. Please, stop self-effacing for attention. I am doing no such thing, I protested. I looked to the other girls in the groups, but they just shrugged. But before I could say any more, the door slid open, one of the stage hands appearing. Sorry? Miss Hyo A. Jeong? There's a common girl who's really insistent on seeing you. She says she knows you. What should I say? He asked. Oh no, Jin A? I winced. I couldn't face her. Not after that disaster. Tell her I'm not here. Tell her that I have died. Tell her I have died of shame and therefore am not here. I'll say that you're busy, he said uncomfortably. Wait, who's this Jin A that you're so afraid of? The great and haughty A Jeong, scared of a commoner? Tai Mi mocked. Send her in, this must be seen. Okay, sir, the stage hand said and closed the door, despite my obvious distress. Oh no, that's so mean.
I'll be back.
I'll be right back, I gotta eat something, easy chill. Yikes. Please, at least treat her nicely, I implored Tai Mi. Oh, don't worry. I'm not gonna be mean to her. I'm gonna be mean to you, he declared. I was about to respond by asking how I might be able to tell the difference, but at that moment, the door slid open. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, she exclaimed, bowing unnecessarily. I just wanted to thank Miss Hyo A. Jeong for inviting me here. Sorry for the trouble. I'll be going now. Come in. Any friend of A. Jeong is a friend of ours. I insist, he said. Oh, I'm not really, she said quietly, glancing at me, seeming worried. I gave her a sympathetic look. I mean, okay. Thanks. I made room for her at the table and she knelt down next to me. I smiled at her and tried to reassure myself that I hadn't really lost the upper hand. Perhaps she didn't know just what extent I had utterly destroyed myself on stage. Perhaps. That's a nice dress, he told her. It really really wasn't. She tried her best to look, well, I don't know what her expectation of what one wears to the theatre is, but I'm sure she tried her best. It was cute. It was endearing that she tried, but it was certainly not a nice dress. He was making fun of her after all. I winced. It wasn't fair. She hardly could know better. Thank you, she stammered. Oh no, poor Janae. I wanted to die right there on the spot, or swoop in and rescue her with a clever repartee. But before I had any chance to think of anything to say, she just looked at him with a look of amazement and said, there's just one thing I'm confused by though. I looked away. I was simply unable to watch this unfold. I had invited her here, and he was simply going to devour her whole. I had not understand just how truly calamitous this was. And what's that? He asked with a smirk. Well, it's something Miss Hyo A-jung was telling me. She said it's impossible to embody, playful elegance if you use mock flowers, right? She asked. I looked straight down. She was just too naive for this. She was going to be destroyed. Of course, he said. Okay, that makes sense, she said enthusiastically. Then she said the unexpected. So, then don't you also lose playful elegance if you use mock compliments? I suddenly looked up out of shock, and there was silence. She just tilted her head, looking cutely, as if she really did expect an answer. After a moment had passed for it to sink in, the girls giggled. I thought she hadn't understood, but no. She knew exactly when she had been the butt of the joke, and she had just absolutely called him on it, in the most adorable, most natural seeming way. Ah, clever girl. She is. I may nearly have swooned on the spot. I thought I'd impress her when I invited her here, but instead, I was the one who was impressed. You're right, he said, shrugging it off. That was unbecoming of me, and I apologize. I was truly impressed. The tone of the conversation was respectful after that. She really was naive, it turned out, but after a drink or two, she freely confessed to it in a way that was just most endearing. The most endearing thing in the world. We explained the play to her, and I even admitted to her just how disastrously my performance had gone, even after it was clear she couldn't tell. And her response was simply to smile innocently at me, and saying with the utmost sincerity, "It's okay. I'm sure you get it perfect next time." It was the sweetest thing, and I just hit the mic. Eventually, all the other actors took their leave, simply leaving us alone together backstage, entirely too drunk and entirely too close together, and I was just smitten with her at this point. Smitten? Oh no. Ugh. Oh wait. I have immensely enjoyed your company tonight, I told her. Without a doubt, you are, far more than I, the absolute embodiment of playful elegance. Oh, don't be silly, she said. I clasped her hand with mine. I mean it truly, I declared. I'd like to think I had some sort of segue into what I said next, something that made it seem natural and not just an act of forwardness that would be excessive, even for me. But I cannot remember saying anything of the sort, unfortunately. All I remember was staring deep into her eyes and declaring, "If it please you, I'd rather like to kiss you right now." Does she think she's a man? She blushed profusely, and I immediately regretted saying that, realizing I had moved remarkably too fast and was acting remarkably too drunk. Okay, sure, she stammered, sounding reluctant. My apologies, I shouldn't have said that. I don't know what I was thinking. Please forgive me, I said to her. Huh? No, She'd look down. I'd really like it if you did. Please, that'd be nice. It's kinda nice though. No, you're right. You shouldn't have said that. I raised her chin with my finger, so I could look at her in the eyes. Really? I asked with uncertainty. Really? What? She's a woman! What are you even saying, Hyun-A? She stammered, trembling slightly as I stared her in the eyes. I mean, if you want, it's okay if you don't. I think, jeez, I'd just like it if you did. Really. Very well, I said. Embarrassing. But never mind. Then I leaned forward, clasping her hands, and gently kissed her quivering lips. They felt so delicate against mine, and I could nearly taste her surprise. Then I kissed her once more, unable to help myself. You smell nice, little flower, I said softly to her. Thanks, she said. When I pulled away...
That was getting
Hi,
heavy.
nice to see you.
You scared the shit out of me. Fuck it all. Hello, Amy, how you doing? Holy shit. Oh my god. I'm great, thanks. That's awesome to hear. Fuck it hell. Where the fuck was I off to? Still quivering, but grinned at me. Then a worried look overcame her face, and she looked around the room. Oh no. Is it midnight already? Oh jeez, I'm so late. I should have been home ages ago. I have to leave. Sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. You don't have to say that, I told her, letting go, when I realized I really just had scared her off. I'd come on to her too strongly, and she wanted to be a good sport. But the kiss really did scare her off. What a fool I am, I thought. I'll let you go. I didn't mean to push you like that. No. I like that. I'm flattered that you'd even look at me like that. I mean it, she said, rising to her feet. I shook my head. You don't need to say that. Don't worry about offending me. I understand. You don't need to worry about seeing me again, so don't spare my feelings. I'm not, she exclaimed. I like you. I think you're really cool. Please, believe me. Then she pulled out an ugly hair clip from her hair and handed it to me. Here, hold on to this. I'm not giving it to you. I want it back, okay? I'm trusting you to hold on to it until I can be with you again. Also, your title is misleading. I was disappointed. Check memes. Oh god, what have you done? I mean, technically, it could show up. It's not misleading. Technically, it's the truth. I took it from her, not sure what to say. She started to run away, shouting back at me. Bye for now. Till next time. Till next time, I said, trailing off, watching her run away. Is this what adult relationships are like? No, of course not. Is this a dark game? Technically. This is the sequel to Analogue, A Hate Story. I played that back in March. So don't worry if there's like a whole bunch of missing context, it's because there is. Good luck picking up the pieces though. Only once she left did I realize that my heart was actually racing. Jin A may be cute and timid, and as fun to play with as I had expected, but, well, I certainly had not expected her to grab hold of my heart like that. I thought I'd be the one to sweep her off her feet, impress her, be the charming one. But all I could think was that I'd surely given my worst performance yet. I was never going to pick them up to begin with. I'm good, Taze Jordan, how are you? It's been a long while. Have you been streaming at all? But all I could think of was that I'd surely just given my worst performance yet, and somehow the audience was receptive all the same. And despite the stammering and the excitement and the blushing, I had no doubt that she was far more graceful than I had been. Right after she left, I clipped her hairpin in my own hair. I'm doing good, it has been a while. Hey, let's go, that's awesome to hear. As you can see, not much has changed over here. Same shit, different day, different game. We've been at this for a while. Hey. I'm doing just fine, but I think Hyun A could really use a break from all this reading. Huh? I'm fine. I'm happy to get back to it. Yeah, I have been streaming, but not much. Oh, let's go. Well, how have your streams been? The few that you have done. Okay, fine. I could really use a break. I'm feeling... I don't know. I guess it's culture shock. Oh. I know what that's like. I'm really sorry. Oh, shut up. I don't want pity. I just, like, need a few minutes to recontextualize things. Do you think that would be okay? Let's take a break. Okay, thanks. What type of game would you call Troubleshooter? Turn-based SRPG? Turn-based tactics? SRPG? Fuck, what were the other tags? They've been alright, but the max views I get is 3, but that doesn't bother me that much. Good shit, good shit. That's all it is, man. At the start, it's all about the push. It may sit at 3 for a bit, but once you get through it, Troubleshooter. Turn-based CRPG, tactical RPG war game. The developers call it a turn-based strategy SRPG. There you go. I'd appreciate that too, really. Okay. I feel like the big thing to me is, like, what is up with the Hio family? I was attached to the Ryu family for 312 years, and I've seen a lot, okay? Like, I've seen shit as crazy as adoptive heirs taking the throne, and a queen who secretly manipulated the emperor behind his back.
香港というゲームを見つけたんだ。シャドウランの他のゲームも聞いたことあるかな？
Let me look at it. I've never even heard about it. Shadowrun Home. Yeah, I've had a couple good streams before where I got like 16 viewers and I was really happy with that. Let's fucking go. Shadowrun is more like Baldur's Gate. I see it. Extended edition. Baldur's Gate? More like Fallout 1. Do you still play Forza? Not really. I actually just uninstalled that the other day. Just a man I wanted to see. Or maybe I should just get XCOM. Do it, Amy. Do it. Fucking do it. I was gonna say Fallout 1, but I didn't want to be that guy. Well, Fallout 1, Fallout 2, the classics. I know we talked about this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I really hope that they hold, if they do a remake of 1 and or 2, that they hold to the original perspectives of those games. They said they would. They 100% said they would, but I really want them to keep them that way. I want to try out those type of games. What, did you get bored of Forza? Nah, I just didn't have the Game Pass for like 6 months. And now that I've got the Game Pass, I don't want to play it. Give it a try, Amy. Even try Shadowrun. There probably isn't that much space. Chimera Squad might be up your alley. It's more like Troubleshooter. Trust me, play it. Alright, that's fair. Yep. I would love to play any of the other Forza games though. Make sure you read a guide about it first, otherwise you will get fucked every run. And that's why I'm going in blind. But I have never seen anything from a respectable noble family that's anything like what the Hero family was like. Does that seem normal to you? Okay, that's a huge relief. At least you understand. Are you sure he understood your original question though? What? Ugh, it's rude to patronize a man like that. Of course he understood. Well, I kind of didn't. So, could you please explain what you mean by that? Okay, here's one question. One question about XCOM. Enemy unknown. If I start a quest, right? If I start a mission, and I go to that mission, let's say everyone dies. What happens? Is there a save? Do I roll back? Can I roll back? Or if everyone dies, am I fucked? Like, how fucked is it? How fuck's the system? On normal, yeah. If they die, you can continue. Just makes it harder depending on what you lose. Is there a save system where if like I know I'm gonna lose the mission, can I just restart like I do with Troubleshooter? Oh well, I don't really do it with Troubleshooter. I lose shit too. I lose motivation and hours or minutes of progress. I can't remember if there is a restart option. That might make or break my run. There is autosaves usually. Yeah, but how good are they? That's the thing. Do they? If you lose and it autosaves after the loss, that's a game breaker right there. I might reinstall and check it out. That's alright. If there's no answer, there's no answer. I just want to see if you do know it. Remember, I still gotta go through the other Game Pass games. Really? Isn't it obvious? Really? It's a family led by a woman. Like, Old Mute was clearly attached to the family for a long time, but you can just manual save at the start of a mission? Oh, that's perfect. Easy. How did it even happen that the main branch of the Hero family was run by a woman without any sons? Unless they added an autosave in the PC Game Pass version, which wouldn't be too hard to do. Unfortunately, in this one, Illuminaco fucking bought the game for me. So I got the Steam version. This one I can't avoid, unlike the Game Pass ones I have been. Like, that's inherently a dead end. Even ignoring the unsuitability of a woman for that kind of responsibility, like,
どこ見てんだよ
a Here woman couldn't have a son named Here. So how does the branch even continue?
どこ見てんだよ
But yeah, Amy, some of the games if you're looking into getting into the genre are Xenonauts, which is like older XCOM, and Phoenix Point. I think I've heard of Phoenix Point. Why are you looking at me? Yeah, I have heard of it. Actually,
That was getting heavy.
Hi, nice to see you.
Pop in unannounced.
fuck. Who the fuck are you again? Is that you, Lucas? I would change your name to Lucas. I'm pretty sure that's you, Lucas. Yes, sir. Easy. You're Lucas now. I just changed your nickname to Lucas. If I recall correctly, it was Epic exclusive for a while. If you ever switch also, that Rabbids Mario game is good too. Actually, there's a game that I've been wanting to play. Like, not on stream, just in general. I bought it a while ago, but I haven't done anything with it. It's called... the fuck is it? It is called... Cepheus Protocol. Have you been? Same shit, different day, Lucas. Not gonna lie. Can't complain. As you can see, nothing has changed really. What about you? Have you been? Never heard of it? I got you. Hold on. Wait, how do I even get the link for this? Dun, dun, dun. You know what? That works too. I have been so shit. Oh, let's go. That's awesome to hear, Lucas. Fuck yeah.
You old cunt. That makes no sense.
This also is apparently good. Saber might like it too. Battletech? Who's been playing that? Somebody's been playing that.
Please let me kiss your ass.
Hey, that looks like ass. My kind of ass. But I have been referred to a therapist, so hopefully it will look on the up. Good luck, Lucas. Good luck.
Hang on, David. I'll stop you there. Posh and a little bit gay.
Yeah, no, I don't know who's been playing Battletech. Alright, there was that Gears of War SRPG too. Isn't that Xbox exclusive? Why are you looking at me? Well, you're from the barbaric past. Was that a normal thing as far as back your time too? It's on PC Game Pass now, offer. Well, what are we talking about? Gears Tactics. Okay, we're talking about that. The throw-up game of Gears Tactics. Ah. Any Fire Emblem game is good too. I can vouch for that. For the 3DS and Switch era at least. Damn, Gears Tactics look like shit. Pretty easy to run on PC too. Let me think. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I remember that was a pretty normal thing in all my books, but I was pretty young, so... Still, if it was in your books, it's not like your parents would have given you books full of the stuff they realized was morally depraved or anything. Yeah, probably not. So, how did that work then? Like, would the branch just change? Would one of her sons be adopted into the Heo family, or what? Like, how would Old Mute know what person to be associated with after Seo Young was gone? Would she just suddenly change families? Like, what would her relationship be? I'm sorry, I have no idea. Oh. Sorry, I wish I could tell you, but, I was really young when I got frozen, remember? That's not the sort of thing 13-year-olds worry about. Okay. Hey, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Really? You're kinda crying. Oh, sorry, it's just... That's the first time anyone's ever been willing to take my views on how things were in the past seriously, or given any sorts of credit to my real parents. Oh, Hyun A. Thank you so much, Mute. Okay, let's just get back to work, okay? Maybe somehow it'll make more sense to me as I read. Thank you. Please, knock it off. Jeez, Mr. Investigator, rescue me from her. I think we got like 6 left. 2, 4, yeah, we got 6 left. Old Mute was so rude. Amendment of the Education Act, Records Office, January 22nd, 4038. Smith, Chief Councillor Smith State. Councillor O. This is the first time we've read about this person. We have time for one more order of business today. Councillor O's proposed amendment of the Education Act. The text of it can be found in the third appendix of the session's agenda. I'll now leave the floor to remarks from Councillor O. No remarks, it's just general housekeeping shit for the university. Great, I'm abstaining voting. I'm going to abstain voting and decline to pay any more attention to this session, if that's okay with you. Councillor, it doesn't affect security. I vote don't care. Does the rest of the council object to bringing it up to a vote? None here. I object. I don't understand the purpose of the proposed change about language rules. Is that really necessary? I don't think. Can you explain that? It's just some minor changes to general requirements. Even engineers have general requirements. That's why they're called general. I don't understand what they're talking about. Don't worry about it, dear. It's best if women don't worry about politics. I don't think we need the vocabulary lesson, Councillor. That's... Yes, I know. Out of line. Withdrawn. It doesn't sound like minor changes. Wait, Queen O Yuna? She was an official before? This was all requested and drafted by Muganghwa University President Oh Yun-ah. She assures me that it's just a minor change to allow for students to get a more rounded education. What exactly is more rounded about forcing engineers into pointless general classes? Everyone already takes general classes. It's not Pardon me if I may. Certainly, I yield the floor to Councillor Lee. As I understand it, the change is to allow general programs to include text written in Chinese characters. Is that right? That's what I'm told. Oh, of course Eon R would want to improve literacy. So, she's the reason why I couldn't understand what everyone wrote. Meaning, technical students will have to go out of their way to learn pointless nonsense that doesn't have anything to do with science. Chinese characters aren't taught in public schools. That's right. The other councillors see where this is going, yes? Does it really need to be spelled out why it would be a good thing to make the educational requirements for noble professions less accessible to any old peasant at a public school? In case you haven't noticed, we have a serious problem with overeducated peasants already. They agitate for democracy and give me a headache. Making things harder for them seems like preserving the status quo to me. Whoa, mute back then was really harsh. Yeah, like, I respect that, but what a cold maneuver. That was my thinking. It's just housekeeping regardless. I still don't. Councillor Kim, do you really feel that strongly about this? Really? If you move to vote, I'll second it. Do we have a motion to vote? I move to vote then. Second. The motion passes. How does the council vote? The Councillor of Education is in favour. The Councillor of Captaincy is in favour. The Councillor of Agriculture is in favour. The Councillor of Security wants this over with. In favour. I can't deal with how rude she is though. The Councillor of Justice is in favour and agrees with the lovely Councillor of Security. Ugh. Ugh is not a vote. Fine. The Councillor of Engineering and Science abstains. I don't care that much. Councillor of Culture is in favour. Councillor of the State is also in favour. Let the record show that the vote was 7 in favour and 1 abstention. The amendment passes and will go to the President for signing. With that, I move to close the Council for the day to resume next Monday. Second, gladly. Then the High Council of the Muganghua is dismissed. Jesus. Chief Councillor, Records Office. So, this is the result of old mutes conspiring. Ah, right, with Smith and Seo Young. Let's not waste any time getting to the biggest order of business for today, deciding on my successor for the position of Chief Councillor. Point of order, before we continue, will you be stepping down as Councillor of State at the same time? Yes, consider it a complete retirement from politics. Who will be taking your position then? Smith In Chul will be taking it. I trust there are no objections to this. No, Smith In Chul is the eldest son of Chief Councillor Smith. Oh, okay. Wrong one. So, do we have a picture or no? No picture. Good. Moving on. Are there any nominations from the floor for a new Chief Councillor? I'd like to nominate the Councillor of Captaincy for the position. Wait, what? Councillor Lee? Seconding the lovely Councillor of Security's nomination for Ryu. At the risk of being gauche, seconding my nomination. Are there any others? Nope. I'm nominating myself. Is there a second for Councillor Kim? Well, this is kind of an awkward silence. Really? Councillor Milquetoast can get himself second, but not someone who actually runs something important? Councillor Milquetoast? Okay, you're not gonna call out that as out of order? Seriously? Yes, it's out of order. Let the record indicate that the Chief Councillor's remarks were prefixed by an overly dramatic sigh. Wow, I always thought politics would be more civil. It should be. Like, all of this uncivilized bickering? It's not right. This is getting awfully out of control. Councillor Kim, do you withdraw the remarks? No. I want to know what could possibly motivate anyone to nominate that man for the single highest position on the ship. It is, admittedly, a curious decision. Obviously, I'm not completely unbiased here, but I don't think he has the track record to support such a position. We've actually... Councillor Mute, if you would. Yeah, of course. I'll be blunt right now. The most important thing is to continue the stability of this ship. Is in how we deal with President Park and this idiotic democracy movement, right? I mean, everyone agrees with that, yeah? Therefore, our job is to undermine his actions at every turn, right? Again, nobody's arguing with that, are they? How is electing VU as Chief Councillor going to do that? How is it not going to send a stronger message to have someone with an established record? I also don't understand the reasoning. Simple. We don't want to look like the president is our enemy. If we strongly oppose him, we only make the movement stronger. Councillor Lee, tell me, what's your proposed new direction for the council? I don't propose a new direction. I don't believe in compromising to hooligans. We need to draw a line that firmly lets the peasantry know that the High Council of the Muganghwa won't yield to their arrogance. More importantly, one that assures that the noble families that actually run the ship, that we won't hang them out to dry. I don't disagree with the principle. I don't like the compromise either. Councillor Ryu, I'll hand this over to you. It's simple. We don't compromise. It's no new direction. It's the same direction as always. We protect the best interests of the ship and maintain the social order that's worked for centuries. Inside this room, nothing changes. Then what was Councillor Mute going on about? Inside this room, nothing changes. Outside, we're the face of reform. We're the best friend of the average man who got so excited to elect President Park. President Park will propose whatever nonsense he'll propose and we'll say, yes, of course we'll do that, with some changes. But we're just as interested in reform as you. But inside this room, nothing changes. And that's how it's done, boys and girls. Efficient and subtle. That's why Councillor Ryu is perfect. He doesn't have an established track record. We put him as Chief Councillor and he says he believes in reform. They're not going to be able to argue with that. Wow. Interesting. Come on, Councillor Lee. Surely you can see that this is what's appropriate for the moment. Like, under any other circumstances, you know I'd happily vote for you. Believe me, I have not safeguarded this ship's security for over 1,600 years just to hand it over to a bunch of fools, okay? But you know, sometimes you give them the stick, sometimes you give them the carrot. Right now, we need the carrot. 1,600 years? Wow, that's... Wow, even older than I am. By a lot. Then, we poison the carrot. Yeah, sure, whatever. That's some kind of metaphor, but you see my point, Councillor. Who else stands with you? Councillor Yang? Councillor Ryu? Anyone else? Strongly. It's why I'm stepping down. The High Council needs a new face. A real new face. Not simply the same old establishment figures the peasantry already hates. It's a good argument. So, old Mute named the new chief counselor that easily? In that case, it doesn't look like anyone else is likely to get the 6-vote supermajority needed then, is it? Alright, Counselor Ryu, I hope the Chief Counselor's faith in you isn't misplaced. I withdraw my nomination. Really? As a point of order, it's long past the point where we usually take a break. Is that a motion for a recess? Yes. I second it. Very well. We'll reconvene in 1 hour. Motherhood Credit Act. Records Office. Oh wow, that was a problem even in the past? Next on the list, the proposed Motherhood Credit Act. I'm tabling this one myself. You can find the text of the act in the 10th appendix of the session's agenda, as well as the relevant charts and data in the 11th through 15th. We're sure burning through appendices fast. My apologies. I'll try to keep this one concise then, since I know you've all read this one anyway. We're approaching a serious demographic problem right now. Birth rates ship-wide have been declining for years. The plan, simply put, is to provide an economic incentive for families to raise children. Exactly what sort of numbers are you proposing? I feel like I'm being buried underneath a giant pile of data. How much is this credit for? Well, actually, I guess it'd be worse without marriage being respected, huh? Nothing's being buried, it's just thoroughness. Chief Counselor Smith wouldn't have allowed an item to be introduced with 4 appendices. They've been available beforehand for months. I haven't read them either. I've read them, it's just unclear. What are the actual numbers? It's a complex breakdown with a number of factors. The bottom line though is that it will average to 20,000 silver for noble families per year and 5,000 silver for peasant families per year. Let the record show that Councillor Lee just let out a long whistle, which I'm seconding. Those are big numbers. I don't object on principle, but I would like to make an assurance that this isn't going to impact my department's budget. It's already stretched thin. Everybody's stretched thin. The projection makes it seem like it's going to have a significant cost attached to it. Like, I'm not opposed either, I get the benefits. It's just, you know, the stability I worry about. Councillor Smith, if you would. Right. There's no question this will be costly. We're looking for long-term results, but certainly this is not a project that can be sustained in the long term. If you look at the appendix on 14th, you'll see that there's a projected cost for the next 10 years will require a 15% tax increase. That's a lot. However, the projection also shows that with the estimated population increase, and this being conservative, don't worry, we'll see an even payout after about 22 years, then a significant increase. How does that work? I don't really get it. Appendix 15 is a report by the Muganghwa University Department of Economics. You'll find it that explains it thoroughly. Certainly, Counselor, but humour me. How does it work? Well, basically, when the population goes up, it means the workforce increases, which means there's more people to do more jobs. So, there's an increase in tax revenue overall, but a decrease in government labour costs, which is always the pain in the ass. Pretty much. Really. I'm sure the Counselor of Education will vouch for the quality of the university's findings. Zoned out, thought you were playing Democracy 4 for a second. That's how you know the writing's that good. Yes, of course, I'll stand by it. Very well then. Okay, but here's my problem. If you increase taxes on the lower class by 15%, there will be riots. Like, my office will be on fire within a week, and it turns out that costs even more of the money that's already tight to put out. We're talking actual, straight-out riots. It's a security problem. Jeez, what's with her arguing with a man like that? I'd never. But the benefit would be... I get what the benefit would be. Even if you knew he was wrong? Like, if I thought he was wrong, I would try to understand what my misunderstanding was. That's the mature thing to do, okay? I get what the benefit would be. It just doesn't offset the cost of, you know, offices on fire. More workers would be a pretty good thing though. Are you really going to exercise the security veto over this? Is it? Don't worry, Hyun-A, it's okay. I know you'll get it eventually. If I may, a possible solution might be to offload the tax increase onto the noble classes. This is a terrible idea. Just to hell with the whole act, I say. No, it's a good idea. Peasants off having children is something I'm all for. Peasants raising happy families do not set fire to anything. To be perfectly clear, I am very much in favor of not setting fire to things option, okay? The Counselor of Security may be over-dramatizing a little. Don't sound so certain. We need to find some sort of consolation for the refusal to carry out President Park's insane school credit idea. This just addresses a serious social issue as well as undercuts Park. If it's not this, it'll have to be something else. I don't care. I'm not voting for any act that will require a tax increase, let alone one supported by noble families alone. Yes, me neither. This is certainly going nowhere fast. Councillor Smith? Yeah? I'm sure something can be changed to address the councillor's concerns, right? Well, we could probably just take the funding from the surplus. It'll all balance out in the end anyway. I didn't think to submit any numbers on that though. Assuming the Council of State is correct and no new taxes were levied on either the peasantry or the noble class, would anyone object? It'd be okay by me. Assuming the Council of State is correct, no, there would be no objection. Yes, fine, whatever, I don't care. I would have no problem. But like, I guess it went through in the end, right? What they all said. Right. Councillor Smith, please provide a new report on the feasibility of surplus financing for the Motherhood Credit Act. The item is tabled until then. Moving on. Grandmother knows best. Kim So-yi. This is the first time we've read about this person. La 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 la. Room status. Relatively free of debris. No laundry on floor. Food on still unrolled. Not really a point to doing it this late in the day. No dishes in the room. That's just about good enough for me. Today was pretty exhausting at work. We're still doing cleanup from the fire on Monday. And I'm low enough on the ladder to get stuck in a room full of ash all day. It also meant in order to catch up on all my project work, I had to do 2 hours of overtime afterwards. It was not my idea of fun. I can't figure out what the occasion is, but for some reason when I got home from work, half the main branch of the family seemed to be in our living room. Even my grandfather, the Counselor of Engineering himself, was there shockingly. I wanted to just go lie down and hole up in my room, but given how rare an event that is, social obligations interfered. After thanking grandfather for getting me that job once more, which he seemed nonplussed on the subject of, my grandmother instantly dominated the conversation by asking me if I'd found a man yet. My standard response, I'd love to, but work keeps getting in the way. She apparently didn't buy it. Oh, she's an engineer. That's nice. Why would a Kim woman need to have a job? Alright, so who's the grandmother? First time we heard about her. Who's the grandfather? Counselor Kim. Oh, okay, oh wait. I thought Counselor Kim was the teacher, the school teacher as well. Apparently not. Counselor Kim, old mute, was pretty antagonistic towards him. He was the Counselor of Engineer. Oh, different person. Different. I need to continue that fucking sarcastic streak. Why not? Isn't engineering a male-dominated field? She asked. It's not wrong, but nearly every single man is either named Kim or married to someone named Kim. Kim is probably the most common name in Korea, Offer. Yes, well, I thought that Counselor Kim and the other Kim that I was thinking of were the same person. Luminaco. To Kim. There are a few exceptions, like my boss, the gross one who forces me to clean up ashes instead of doing important work. I left that last part out of my answer to my grandmother. It's not like I don't want to find someone. I'd sure like to move out of... Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to grow up to be like too. She understands. Well, like, I don't. It's not like I don't want to find someone. I'd sure like to move out from my parents' house and have someone for companionship, and eventually have kids when my career gives me the time for it. I'm not opposed to marriage. I really want it. But I don't think I'm brave enough to say the only reason why I've gotten 22 years old without ever having a boyfriend is because I'm hopeless with men in front of the entire main branch of the family. Wow, still unmarried at 22? That poor woman. I really don't think that's unusual. I just swapped their voices, whoops. Or even in front of anyone. I feel pretty embarrassed even writing this in my diary, when nobody but me is going to read it. So I think I was supposed to be offended when she asked, what if I found someone for you? But actually, it seemed like a reasonable enough idea. She has good judgment, probably, and I don't believe in nonsense like love at first sight. The idea of getting together with someone through a matchmaker doesn't sound very hard to justify. Besides, if I don't like whoever she picks, I can always say no. Her grandmother sounds like a good woman at least, even if it's late. I'm just jealous that she was able to say no. So I asked, do you have someone in mind? She seemed pretty much taken aback by that. My parents, not so much. They didn't say anything. The bottom line is that it seems I now have a marriage interview with a Mr. Pion. I hope I said that right. I wouldn't have a clue. This is the first time I read about this person, blah blah blah. Mr. Pion, at some point next month. Apparently he is very sweet, dresses handsomely, and works as a cook for a living. Those all sound like good things to me, although I worry about what sort of man would resort to matchmaking. I'm not one to talk. I think it's going to be fairly weird, but I'm looking forward to it.
8.
Hi, nice to see you.
Hello, Logie, how you doing?
I don't give a fuck!
So, she got married. Kim So-yi. A curious word. Kim So-yi was a really cool woman in the engineering department. Her grandfather was the Counselor of Engineering. Doing fine, what about you? I'm good. I'm really tired for today, so I'm glad this stream's about to end very
Hi,
shortly.
nice to see you.
Beans are spilled, always boss skills. How you doing, by the way? What? I just hit my mic. Welcome to my stream. I hope you're having a good day. What are you up to now, Logie? Apartment status. Just moved in. Perfectly clean. Closet full of brand new cushions and linens. Cupboard full of spotless dishes. Bed is made. Husband's insistence. Mr. Pion, the old man Kim So-yi was going to have a marriage interview with. Just woke up, so I don't know, play games I guess. Hey, let's go. That's the way. Husband, husband, husband. What a curious word. I don't think I'll ever get used to the idea. I mean, it's only been a day, but fiancé sounded just as curious to me too. And I don't feel like things are really any different. As stated, the wedding was today. Grandmother insisted on having a big formal affair of it. Certainly not in my interest, but only my condition was that I have no part in the planning. It seemed to make both her and Nae-mun happy. So grandmother is... Kim So-yi's grandmother played matchmaker for her. She was married to the Counselor of Engineering. Nae-mun is... Mr. Pion. Okay. Nae-mun Pion. I begrudgingly dealt with the stuffy traditional clothing for her sake. After all, without her matchmaking, I never would have been married to begin with. That's really romantic though. For once we are in agreement. It was evidently in my best interest though. After the ceremony concluded, I had another chance to converse with my grandfather, and after an entirely accidental slip of the tongue about my disgusting boss, drinking was a factor, I must confess, I am unused to how free it seems to make my tongue. I found myself with a promise of promotion to technical specialist. But she's a woman! A newly married one even! Even for a wedding present, that was a tremendous gesture. I'm intensely looking forward to going back to work now. Finally, freedom from embarrassment of cleaning ashes and the ability to perform research. I will of course not be given my own assistance from the start, but it is still a huge step up. What else happened? Conversations with parents about moving out was emotional on their part, but largely unremarkable. They will cope. Still, feel like this new home is too large for me, but it would be a lie to suggest that I don't love it. Having space for just the two of us, particularly free of awkward silence requirements in the bedroom, is as great as I'd hope. That's nice, but I don't get what silence requirements means. Like, not everyone is silent during marital affairs, Hyun-A. Past that, busy day, but little else to worth noting. Naked husband is seemingly reading over my shoulder right now. Still doing it. I don't know what that means. Hasn't stopped yet. Yes, knock it off. Oh, never mind, I get it now. Husband is now mocking my very concept of post-coital diary writing. Seemingly, he does not want me to fall asleep with me showing any manner of affection to him, possibly even interested in sleeping on futon in other room, now expressing an unacceptably sincere level of apology. Still insufficient. You will have to do better than that, husband, if you want. Aww, they sound like a cute couple. I'm happy for them. Serves her right for teasing him like that. File ends abruptly. Like, we should take a break. Why are we taking a break on the last file? Actually, Mute, there's something I'd like to talk about if you don't mind. Okay, sure. I always thought when I was alive and sick that I'd love to be free of my body. That it'd be great to feel free. Wait, that it'd be great to be free of all its stupid fragility. Turns out not so much. Not so much. Like, I have a simulation of arms and legs and a face, so I don't go mad, but... Wait, you do? Yeah, you know how you know, your body sort of affects the way you think, so it's important. I remember my real father telling me something about that as a kid. But you're the same program as me, and I don't have that. Huh? I keep telling you, I'm not the same program. We're not even the same base code. Jeez. I had a lot of time to myself, so I programmed that in myself. Wait, like, you can do that? You changed my code? I changed my code. Look, this isn't what I wanted to talk about. What I was trying to say that even still, I really miss having a body a lot. I mean, it's been so exciting to talk to people, finally. Even you, Mew. I'm glad to hear it. I just really miss, well, touch. Especially while reading about things like visiting the plaza to buy flowers like A. Xiong did. I just wish... Hey, when we reach Earth, you'll get me a body, right? Of course. Hyun A. I guess it's not really much of a choice. It's just really important to me. What about you, Mew? I don't know anything about that sort of thing. Obviously, I don't miss it. But aren't you curious? Don't you want to know what it's like to feel, to touch? I don't really have any use for that. But you've been in love before, right? I'm still a woman, Hyun A. How do you think Smith Sam Jung would feel? Don't you think he'd want you to be able to touch if you could? Don't just evoke someone like that so casually. Sorry. But he did, of course. Sometimes I would even render myself with my hair let down in front of him. He liked that. Jeez, why am I telling you this though? I think that would be really nice. You could even find out just how heavy the real version of that giant headdress you used to wear was. I wonder, what would it be like to have hair again? Could it be blown in the wind? Would it be fluffy? I wouldn't really know. It makes me think of Yu Jae Hua, my husband's wife. She'd comfort me and brush my hair. I could do that for you if you'd wanted. Why would I want that? Well,
Hi,
I just
nice
thought,
to see you.
because I'd like it an awful lot. Hello, Shin, how you doing? Finished work and home. Welcome home, Shin. How was work? But now that I think of it, I just don't remember what it felt like to be touched like that. I don't remember touch at all. Do you think you'd be able to remind me, Mr. Investigator? Maybe we could hug and you could touch my hair? That'd be alright. Very good, and oh la la touch, that's right. Oh, well that's good. I don't even remember the feeling of that anymore, but I know it was really comforting. What is this? This is a visual novel. This is the sequel to Analogue, A Hate Story, a game I played in March. I saw a Korean name. This was made by a Western developer. Her name is Christine Love. Analogue, A Hate Story was a solid game, in my opinion. Touch. I remember touch. Pictures came with touch. I paint it in my mind. Tell me what you see. Fuck off. Touch. I want to be touched. Really, I don't want to be stuck behind this computer screen forever. I just want to remember what it's like to be touched. Jeez, Hyun A, that's way too brazen. Please, don't get jealous on me just because he said yes. What? No. I'm not. I don't. Jeez, I don't want that. I don't want it from you or him or anyone else. My hair stays up. Sorry. I didn't think it.
ツンツンデテクティド。
No, I'm really not.
Sorry, I didn't think it mattered that much to you. I will not be teased by a love-struck girl with a fixation on hair fluffiness. Like, if this is what taking a break is like, I'd rather get back to work. Oh no, a YouTube link. Oh, we got a new mail. J.R. Robinson, repair information. For the millionth time, tune up your deflector regularly. Tune up your deflector regularly. Tune up your bloody deflector regularly. From the damage report you sent us, it's pretty obvious what happened. Your deflector engaged are probably nanosecond too late, and instead of removing an incoming piece of microscopic debris, it just changed the angle enough to glance it right through your primary engine at 0.9 Celsius? I actually don't know what that is. Honestly, you're damned lucky it didn't pass through an unshielded area, or you wouldn't be alive right now. I see this sort of thing happen all the goddamn time, and it is completely avoidable if you would just take your ship in for a regular tune-up. There's absolutely no excuse. Tune up your deflector regularly. It is covered by all insurance providers by law, and it takes no more than 5 minutes. I'll do it this time for you, but it's up to you to bring it in for a tune-up every 6 months. For now, I'll expect to see the White Princess at the shop by February 12th. I don't know how long it'll take to fix, but judging by the damage report, you're going to be grounded for at least a week while we wait for parts to arrive. And for the love of God, tune up your bloody deflector regularly. J.R. Robson, Corporate Repair Division, Industrial Star Solutions, Earth Space Dock. Ramgoat, a good song that. It's not Celsius for sure. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Right through your primary engines at 0.9 C. The research problem, Kim So-yi. A noble man working under a woman? Apartment status. No time to make the bed this morning, otherwise spotless. Dishes need to be washed. Mr. Han finally responded to my message. This is the first time we've read about this person. I had been so excited to have him assigned to me as a research assistant. Certainly the help was well deserved after my recent overburdened workload, or at least in my estimation. Dude, working under a woman is kinda okay. That's the whole what do you call it? Is it culture? Is culture? Is that the word I'm looking for? Society. It's the society in the ship back then. It's the way things ran. See, Mute was the ship. Oh, there's a whole lot of fucking context missing, but we got Hyun A and Mute, two AIs from a ship called the Mugonghwa. Long story there. Basically, civilization inside the Mugonghwa, which was a ship. I think it was stranded in the middle of space. Yeah, it was. It was stranded because everyone was dead.
Not quite right about that boy.
It's just a critique on Korean culture. Oh yeah. But yeah, in game, everyone was dead in the Mugonghwa. Mute seems to be like showing what the world used to be like, what the ship used to be like. Hyun A is representative of what the world was like before the ship turned into that shit. And they both have their own things to say when it comes to what happened in the past. So the way that the first game went was that we had to find out what happened to the Mugonghwa, and we got it. We got the whole story. This game is all about finding out how the Mugonghwa turned into what it was, and what exactly happened before the history wipe that apparently happened. Good explanation, don't worry. Everything I just said, I have no idea what I said. I have no idea what I just said. So I hope that helped, because I don't remember. I have considered the possibility the research chief's intentions were not good in doing so. First time we've read about this person. I shall take that back by half. Good, good. If somebody else tried to make me repeat all that, I couldn't. It seems unlikely, however, despite his remarks on the perilousness of my position, it seems as though he is earnestly grateful for my work. And he didn't assign Han to me until I specifically outlined the preliminary research proposal into the radiation problem. So I must believe that he truly did think the research was worth pursuing, and that I would require assistance for it and nothing more. I was certainly optimistic for the first week I worked with Han. He seemed receptive to my proposal, and having overviewed some of his prior work, he seemed competent enough. During one of our lunch meetings, I told him I'd be interested in discussing his graduate thesis on processor distribution with him, and it sounded fascinating. In retrospect, perhaps I should have noticed something in his body language. It did strike me as noteworthy that he touched my hands more than one might expect, while making gestures to illustrate his points, but I didn't think much of it at the time. I don't know, I'd really like it if someone touched me like that. Not your husband? Do you not realize? Yesterday evening, at his suggestion, I invited him to our apartment to discuss the proposal in depth. It seemed reasonable enough, or more accurately, I wanted to show off how nice our new apartment is. I haven't had any prior opportunity to do so. Because of that, I went along with his suggestion. Touchy feels, yep. After getting tea, whoa, really? I mean, I remember that was a really big problem in my time. Yeah, it was, but was that really why? After getting tea, I sat down on the couch to show him the proposal document I'd written up. I had to be next to him or he wouldn't be able to see it. After a brief discussion of the general thesis, particularly as to the difficulty in discovering what safe levels of gamma radiation should be when in a closed environment as the Mugonghwa is, I decided to tell him the more radical part of my theory. Now, there's no risk of a co-worker overhearing. I have a confession to make, I said to him. He seemed receptive. I actually wish to investigate a secondary theory in the bounds of this project. I hypothesize that not only does the ambient radiation have a what the fuck? Deleterious effect on fertility. What the fuck? But the ambient radiation is outside of safe levels, and therefore it has been a contributing factor to the Mugonghwa's declining birth rates. Deleterious this. Look, alright. I may be 25, but there's still words I don't fucking know. Mugonghwa's declining birth rate. Perhaps the major one, I admitted. It was clearly not something I wanted to present to the research chief without being able to provide a connection, but I unreasonably assumed I could trust Han with it. Like, that's a fascinating theory, but don't invite an unrelated man alone into your home. Deleterious effect on fertility. Alright, done. Deleterious. Well, maybe we could explore that theory together, he said in an uncomfortable manner and put his hand on my leg. Now do you see what I was getting at? Yeah. Oh, jeez. Means causing harm, I think. Oh, there you go. The more you know. felt like he was not taking me seriously and I protested to that effect. I'm serious. This may be premature, but I would like to eventually attempt to apply this research to investigate the birth rate problem, I said. Let's see what Uncle Googled Eyes said. That's dependent on our work in first proving this initial proposal, of course. I can't remember how he responded, but he moved his hand further up my leg. It was inappropriate and felt uncomfortable. Oh no. No, of course he did. Please stop that, I told him. He didn't. Unable to think of what to do, I continued talking and hoped he would focus on that instead. Big word. This is the preliminary proposal I showed the chief, I told him, showing him the document. I paged through it until I found the right portion. As you can see, the highlighted section is some necessary background detail. Since you are available as an assistant now, I'd like you to... You let him on, so you... Oh no. Diary writing is supposed to be cathartic, but I am finding this difficult to write about. Maybe tea will help. At that point, I was cut off mid-sentence by the insertion of his hand into my underwear. This was far beyond the point of uncomfortable. I'd like you to... I started, but was interrupted by another movement. It was at this time I had realized that he would not stop on his own. I had no idea what to say. It did not seem likely to me that I could think of anything to make him stop. Please stop, I said anyways. He didn't. And when I said that, I saw that he was staring at me. I was not able to decipher the expression, not an unusual occurrence with me, but it scared me and I looked away on reflex. I tried to figure out what I had done to elicit this. I am not great with my social interactions and I considered the possibility that I had somehow signaled that this was what I wanted. Maybe it was the invitation home that triggered it. Maybe. I could not figure out what I had done wrong at the time and I am still struggling. Finally, after enduring it for far too long, I decided I would try to pull myself away. Then I ran. Out of the room, out of my own home, into the corridor. Even at the time, it occurred to me to be thankful that he let me run. He could have easily overpowered me. Ever since I first had that thought, I am having a hard time not imagining what that would be like, and it induces a sense of nausea. I would go so far as to characterize the thought as horrifying. I would like to stop thinking about it. That sounds so scary. I'm so sorry you had to read this, Hyun-A. I hid in the office for 2 hours, pretending to be doing overtime. Nobody questioned it anyway. The thought occurred to me that I could have simply hidden in another room of my home. The bedroom and the wash doors both locked, but it was too late then. From the office, I wrote him a message telling him it would be in both our best interests if we mentioned the incident to nobody, and I told the research chief that his help was unnecessary. It took many rephrasings until I had something I was satisfied with to send Han. I ended up phrasing it as a threat. I could only hope it would be taken seriously. No shit, it is not horrifying. Realistically, I could have probably waited a shorter period than 2 hours to return, but I wanted to be certain he'd be gone when I got back. Thankfully he was. Instead, Nae Mun was there to greet me. Tell your husband, it's his duty to protect you. Are you doing okay, sweetheart? He asked immediately after welcoming me home. I do not know how he could tell something was wrong. I said nothing, I couldn't tell him about it. There was no way. I'm unworried about him judging me or blaming me, but regardless, I do not think he would understand. Nae Mun. Mute got the right idea. Ugh. probably he would want to cause a commotion over it, file a complaint, or some equally troublesome gesture. You look really upset. Do you want to talk about it? He asked. Want to hear the biggest lie ever? Taking a phone call and it says number 1 in the queue and having been waiting 30 minutes already. Oh. Hey Logie, you want Centrelink's number? Don't worry, I got you. You think that's bad? I shook my head. Okay, of course. That's fine. Give you a hug at least? He offered. I nodded and he hugged me. I had only nodded reluctantly. I had thought I really did not want anyone to touch me after that whole incident. The idea of a man touching me just made me uncomfortable to think of. Yet, when he put his arms around me, despite that thought, I ended up gripping him very, very tightly and held on for far longer than is considered normal. I realized it wasn't the same thing at all. My reluctance was unfounded. Being held like that could not have been any more different. I am not really certain as to how to describe it, so all I can say is that it made me feel safe. I felt a sense of longing just to stay like that forever. I'll make dinner for you, sweetie, he offered. How about soft tofu stew, extra spicy, just for you? That'll make you feel better. I doubted that any food would have that power, but offering to make my favorite for me was a very sweet gesture. I'm glad he's here. Thanks, I said. Just sit back and relax, okay? I'll have some tea for you in a moment, he told me. As it turned out, dinner was lovely and did raise my mood. The thought of Han touching me kept coming back to me, as I suspect it will for a long time. But then being able to look at my caring husband comes as a sort of great comfort. After dinner, Mr. Han finally responded to my message. See? This is why it's bad for women to work. Things like this happen. I had no idea. That's horrible. He was threatening in tone in his response and implied both that I made the first move with him and that he could use that as blackmail material with my husband if he so wished, but ultimately agreed to the terms I laid out. I sent a short, one-word response, okay. The suggestions he made were frustrating and it makes me wish I could respond harshly to him, tell him how wrong and bad he's being, but engaging with him more won't make anything better. He got K. He got the K. I just want to forget about the whole thing. Fighting would be counterproductive to that goal, not to mention massively wasting of time when I'm already overburdened at work. So I sent that message and instead put down all my feelings here, where nobody else will see. And now I will wash the dishes with Neimun because I am tired of dwelling on this. Okay, so we're out of power. Okay, so we're pretty much out of power for the day. I know, we wasted most of today's power on all that debugging. You should apologize again, Hyun-A. What? But it's not my fault. Ugh, well, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry about her. Why are you so mean? I'm not being mean, you're just being disrespectful. Jeez. Enough of the childish bickering, Hyun-A. The important thing is, that's all we can do for today. Like, no matter how you look at it, it's gonna take us all 3 days to get through this all. Well, maybe it's for the better that we pace it out anyway. It's not as if it's going to have a happy ending. I don't know what you're talking about, it all ended perfectly, okay? And I don't want to wait, this whole time limit thing sucks. I'd stay up all night reading if I could. Anyway, we can't. I'm looking forward to tomorrow though. Oh, right. The Lunar New Year's tomorrow. Yep. Well, let's let him do any of his rituals first, then get back to us. Aw, but I want to get a new handbook to show off for him and have a How the fuck do you even pronounce that? Tetioguk? And, dear, you're a computer program. You cannot have soup. But you're a computer program, so you can't have soup. It's not possible. Don't be weird, okay? Fine. I give up pronouncing Korean.
Nonsense! We are too close to give up now.
We cannot give up. We have so many Korean games to get through. Anyway, right, like, we're out of power for today. I'll give you a button to shut everything down for the night. So, whenever you're ready, just click on that. Okay, that's all. I still want to do all the proper New Year stuff though. Oh, shush. We'll be spending the New Year reading about our ancestor. That's close enough, isn't it? She's not my ancestor. Okay, whatever. We're not getting into this right now. Just click the shutdown button when you're all done, Mr. Investigator. So, are you sure you want to shut down for today? Okay, I'll just let you go ahead and save your data first. Okay, all done. Well, good night. Man, I can't wait until tomorrow. Why is there two no? Two no? By the way, this is real time. I can't play that save until 12 hours has passed. So we're done. That's why I chose this game to play today. Short stream. That was day one. That was day one. There's two others here. I don't remember when those were. But yeah, we're done for today. That's it. Wait. Is it real-time day game? Yeah. This is the only reason I chose to play this game, because I knew we'd be locked out. Here's the thing though, I can just change my computer time to tomorrow and it'll work just the same. But no, we're following the rules of the game. We're locked out. Remember tomorrow to log in. Yes, you can. I could, but I'm not. We're done for today. We're done for today. I'm going to fuck the bed. That fucking shenanigans with staying up until like 4 this morning kind of fucked everything today. If you change it, Tom Nook yells at you.
That was getting heavy. Sorry to pop in.
Short stream, that's right, short stream. Bed? Yes, it's bedtime. In 10 PM, that's right. Not 4 PM, not 2 PM, I mean not 4 AM, not 2 AM, not 12 AM. Bed now. Good night, Saber. Good night, Shin. Good night, Luminaco. We'll play this another day. Not tomorrow,
Hi.
but
nice
another
to
day.
see you.
My guy Both is still handing out L's.
Yo,
That's right, Pepper.
That
That's
makes
right.
no
That's
sense.
right. I hope you're doing well, Pepper. Bye, everyone.